That did not make it better. Shoot. I was genuinely hoping that would have made it better. Hopefully this doesn't funk and... Yeah, because it should be still going. I'm assuming let me know if you guys can still hear me. Because, hopefully it doesn't funk here. Yeah, tried one saying, okay, we're just going to go without. I apologize for that technical difficulty. I do not know what's going on there. My guess is that's something to do with the source, not with, or where the browser's pulling from. Because, like, if I were to pull, say... Let me see if I have another browser source. That's thrown. Hey, Kash is like, I just got here. It's like you didn't even mess up. Oh, no. It's reactive. Because my other browser sources are working just fine. Because I could pull up the extra life banner like it's nothing. Okay. So we're just gonna play. You just don't get to see my face. Hello. Perfect timing, Rira. Hello. How's it going? Thank you for the resub. 18 months. Damn, a year and a half. I genuinely appreciate that. Thank you so much, dude. Alright. So, like I was saying, last we left off, we just got all the information we can get out of Gumshoe about MC Bomber, about Glen Elg, about all of that. I think we might have enough that we can actually work with, that we might be able to talk to the director of the computer company again. I think it was Basil. Yeah, we should be able to actually, because we have a lock with her. I think we might be able to break that lock finally. So let's get right into that. And, let's get through this hell of a lock. With Glenn's troubles. So, how about you tell me what kind of trouble Mr. Elg was in? I'm sorry, sir, but we don't deal with troubleshooting here. Perhaps you'd like to speak to someone in customer service? What's she talking about? Guess I better just take a shot and see where it gets me. Ms. Basil, let me ask you something. Meet with Steve Jobs. Do Mr. Elk's troubles have something to do with this? Whoop. Thought I'd be able to shift pages quickly. With the victim's lottery ticket. What is that? A lottery ticket. There are a ton of these on the victim's table at the scene of the crime. And what is the relevance of that? The victim, Mr. Glen Elg, had a gambling habit, didn't he? I don't think that's a logical conclusion based on the facts. Everyone dreams of being rich. Even I listen to Millionaire Radio. She's right. That is a bit weak on its own. But Mr. Elg's gambling wasn't restricted to the lottery, was it? Because we have all of his losing horse race tickets. I was walking around a shopping center last night and saw somebody generally look like Steve Jobs. Who the hell is Ligma? Yeah, it's Millionaire Radio. It's a lottery station. The lottery, horse racing, he bought a lot of tickets, and he lost a lot of times. That's got to have hurt his wallet pretty bad, don't you think? Oh no, the robot can sweat. Or is crying. Or both. Maybe bad enough to be the cause of some pretty serious trouble, perhaps. No. You are right. Glenn did have a gambling habit. You good people must not follow his example. Do you understand? Trust me, even if I wanted to, I don't exactly have the money to buy any. But if you win, there's no problem, is there? And Glenn had a winning ticket, didn't he? For $500,000? Yeah, but it's hard to imagine how he could have been in trouble then, isn't it? It's true that Mr. Elg won $500,000 in the end. But that was his first stroke of good luck. He was in deep trouble before that. Deep trouble? What do you mean? Mr. Elg's real problem was with someone or something more terrifying and ferocious. He had a loan shark on his ass. Furio Tigre, the boss of a loan office called Tender Lender. Tender Lender? People with businesses should think harder before naming their offices. Like you're one to talk. Well, what do you think? Our firm is doing very well at the moment. I don't think we need to borrow money. No. I mean Mr. Elg. You think Glenn had something to do with this Furio Tigre? Yes. I'm sorry. I don't know of any connection between the two of them. Really? So I got proof that Mr. Elg and the Tiger knew each other. They had a meeting. Furio Tigre, aka the Tiger, aka a guy that looks like a fighting game character according to Snake, is the boss of a loan office called Tender Lender. This is who Mr. Elg met with on the day of his murder. And the only thing a loan shark would talk with him about would be his debt. No. It's true that Glenn had racked up quite a bit of debt from his gambling habit. About $100,000, I think. Oh, yeah, sorry. $100,000, I think. $100,000. Ouch. But I heard he won the lottery, so he should have been in the clear. Shame Maggie couldn't get a bit of that good luck. Okay. So the guy got lucky and won the lottery. But what if he hadn't won? What was his plan then? Well, this isn't easy to say, but he said he would use his talents to repay the money. His talents? I suspect he was talking about programming. Oh, thank God. Different talents. But what computer program is worth $100,000? Perhaps you good people should leave so I can get back to my work. I'm so close to cracking her. The program in question was by any chance this? Mick Bomber. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm Mick Bombing it. Well, this is it, isn't it? This is the virus that's infecting computers worldwide as we speak. MC Bomber. No. We did it. Crack that lock. Let's talk about Glenn's troubles. Glenn's head had more processing power than any computer, but it had been infected with a gambling virus. Glenn was in too deep. You mean he was in debt? Yes, $100,000 in debt. Not an easy amount to repay. So, he said he was taking on some extra work. Something a bit risky. Risky? How? Maybe he was going to become a waitress at Tribulations. Where do you come up with these ideas? God damn it, Maya. Just sit in the corner and think about what you just said. So it's safe to say Mr. Elg was the creator of this virus, huh? The MC Bomber virus? Yes. It was a work of genius. In a bad sort of way, of course, but still genius. Something like that would probably fetch several $1 million on the black market. Inconceivable. Gumshoe is right for a change. It's less inconceivable that the virus is worth millions. It's more the shock that we of course have here is that Gumshoe was right about something. The Gumshoe had a correct assessment. This date, December 3rd, that is marked on his calendar. That was his deadline for repaying his debts. Yeah, MC Bomber updating the court record. Nice. I guess we won't be needing these horse racing tickets anymore. Lennox losing horse racing tickets thrown back on the floor. Throw them in the trash, you asshole. God damn. All you had to do was throw them in the trash properly. Use the trash can, Nick. Even Maya's calling you up for your bullshit. Come on, man. Alright, I think we have the information we need to there's another lock I think there's the other lock we can crack, because we had talked to Viola, who was the person that, or the character that fucking Lava King was simping over the other day. I think we could crack her locks. Does she? Yeah, she had a lock. Yeah, let's talk about the head bandage. Tell me about your brain damage. Oh, she's very locked. The head bandage. You said that bandage from around your head was from an operation? You also said you suffered a fatal injury to the head, correct? Yes. The operation was very difficult, apparently. Yeah. You know, see, everyone should dunk on Phoenix for that trash can antics. Now, by fatal injury, you mean you were hurt very badly somehow, right? Did the injury in question have something to do with this? Attorney's badge. Well? Donuts? Huh? I baked them myself. Homemade donuts. No, I'm trying to show you my attorney's badge. Have one. What's inside? Jam and... And what? I'm sorry, but I didn't quite catch that. Thanks, but no thanks. I think I'll pass. Guess that was a flop. Ah, attorney's badge. What happened to this woman for her to have such a huge bandage around her head? There must be some piece of evidence that prompted her to tell me what happened. Oh, that was an achievement. I got offered donuts. I'm feeling injured. You're hurt very badly. The injury has something to do with this? I'm gonna guess... Where is it? There was a piece of paper that we found in this office. This repair bill. I have here a car repair bill. From this, it seems pretty obvious that this car was involved in an accident. Let me see that. This bill is made out to the Cadaverinis? Yes, it is. I don't think I ever introduced myself. Tell me, what do the Cadaverinis have to do with me? Something tells me she's not about to say hi and introduce herself. Alright. Your relationship with Cadaverinis is very strong, and this is why. I'm going to show you your own face. Right there. I think that, guys? That would make her close to Cadaverinis? Being a Cadaverini would make you close to them? I know exactly who you are, Viola Cadaverini. You sustained that injury in a traffic accident, didn't you? It happened about 4 months ago. I was driving in one of our family's cars when someone pulled out in front of me. Oh, you vehicular manslaughtered the Tiger. It was a motorbike or something like that. I don't remember it much. Anyway, I swerved to try to avoid it, but... I took a blow to the head. A bad one. Yeah, I can imagine. So what happened to the person on the bike? I'm guessing they didn't get away with injuring the Viola Cadaverini, right? I don't know what happened to them. They ran away, or so I heard. Ran away? If they'd stayed, I'd have... I used to be a adventurer like you until I took a car crash to the head. There's a lot of people that you could have been if you fucking didn't take a car crash to the head. Could the person who committed the hit and run have been the Tiger? Because that looked like the Tiger in that fucking flash. So it was this man, wasn't it? He was the cause of your accident. It wasn't Don Tigre. I refuse to believe it. We collided, the motorbike and my car. But Don Tigre isn't injured at all, is he? It was the Tiger who caused Viola to crash. I can feel it. Plus, one of her locks just broke, so she must suspect it was him too. I'm sorry, Miss Cadaverini, but I have proof that the Tiger was involved in a traffic accident on his bike. I'll just... Because if I remember correct... Where is it? Yeah, because look at his bike. It's all fucked up. You can't tell me that wasn't in a wreck, right? That has to be it. It's not exactly a motorbike, but Mr. Tigre rides around on a scooter, doesn't he? You'll notice that the front wheel guard is badly damaged. Miss Cadaverini, you know the truth, don't you? This repair bill was paid by Furio Tigre. The Cadaverinis have known for ages who caused the accident, haven't they? It's possible. Perhaps. Somewhere inside me, I know that may be true. I knew it. But Don Tigre still saved my life. The operation was very complicated. It was very, very expensive. How much are we talking? Very, very, very expensive. No, but how much are we really talking? Very, 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 very expensive. It's just gonna keep going on like that. She seems hesitant to be giving an actual figure. I'll back off of that. Well, anyway, it was the Tigre who paid for it, right? After I recovered, Don Tigre told me. He said he paid for the operation because he cared about me. I believe him. Really? But do you honestly believe that to be true? Do you want to know what I think? I think the reason he paid for the operation wasn't because of you, but someone else. Probably because of your father. Your grandfather. No, that's not your father, that's your grandfather. Perhaps I shouldn't be saying this, but your grandfather, Bruto Cadaverini, controls a lot of dubious cash, right? And you are his beloved pride and joy. Sure, I don't know exactly how much the operation cost, but if you weren't the granddaughter of Mr. Cadaverini, do you think Mr. Tigre would have paid the money? $1 million. 1 million. I may have said that in a very light Dr. Evil voice. $1 million. Do. Tell me about your head bandage. 4 months ago, I was in a traffic accident. That's why I needed the operation. When I woke up, they told me it was nothing serious. A simple procedure. Oh, really? Well, I guess if she recovered in 4 months, it couldn't have been too big. They said the operation cost $1 million. $1 million bucks? My grandfather ordered Don Tigre to pay. $1 million in compensation. Compensation, huh? It's underworld lingo for paying money to settle a score. Basically, pay or get into some serious trouble. But $1 million bucks? This has to be related to our poisoning case somehow. Tell us about the compensation. I wanted to believe him. I wanted to trust what Don Tigre said. He said it had nothing to do with my grandfather being Bruto Cadaverini. I wanted to believe he helped me because he cared about me, not about my grandfather. Oh, but I knew. That wasn't really true. Wow, I'm so sorry. What he did to get the money it was evil. Oh! He said it was all for me, so I helped him. You helped him? In what way? Here, take these. What are these? Medical papers? I'm Bruto Cadaverini's granddaughter. He had to pay compensation. He was made an offer he simply couldn't refuse. Oh, poor Viola. She just wanted to believe. Payment was due last year. Oh. Well, to be fair, this is January right now, so last year was like a couple weeks ago. In this case. Wow, I feel so bad for Viola. It's inexcusable. Huh? There are two things I consider inexcusable. Poisoning and betrayal. Is that it? Phoenix, that's all? It's just poisoning and betrayal. Everything else is kosher. Only a coward would hurt people using either of these tactics. Oh, so you're a man about it. You're okay if the murder's like blunt force trauma or like a gun. But poisoning. Oh, poisoning. You don't like that. Yeah, there should be a lot more things on that list, Kakashi. I agree with you. Like, Phoenix is being very simplistic about this. We should get going. We're about to refinish our espresso. Yeah. I would need to convince Viola of anything else, so I guess I can get rid of this. Repair bill thrown into the trash. So you throw that into the trash, but not the fucking horse tickets? Phoenix, your priorities are fucking sideways, dude. Come on. What the fuck? Can't fucking believe you, dude. Let's go. Oh. We'll just head back out of here. Go to Tribulations. Hey, bonjour. I have been waiting for you to return. Mr. Armstrong. Ah, good timing. I was hoping to find you here. We'd like to ask you a few questions. Well, he hasn't got anything to say to you fellas. Ah, shit. Ah, it's Zane off. Who are you calling Zinny Oopie? Ah! Come up from under the table already, Maya. Okay, hand it over. What? You just want to play these games with me? I don't recommend that. The medical papers, now! Uh-oh. I think he wants to buy Cadaverine's papers back. You mean this? The $1 million medical papers? Miss Cadaverini trusted you. That's why she said that she helped you. Forget about it. That girl's dumber than an eggplant. You just want to know what's sad? I'll tell you what's sad. And it ain't only her face. She thinks she's got power because she's Bruto's little girl. Now that's sad. With the tongue going, bleh. I can't let you have these papers. Tomorrow in court, I'm going to expose what you did to get the $1 million you used to pay this off. Are you crazy or something? I don't care if you want to give it to me or not. There's 2 of us here. You got that? 2. Oui. Mr. Armstrong. Forgive me. Désolé, I cannot argue with him. Mr. Armstrong kicked my ass. Oh, that really hurt. Is that all you's got? I'll be taking those papers now. Armstrong, get that lighter. Wait. Don't take it too hard, Phoenix Wright. That was so stupid. I shouldn't have let my guard down. Those medical papers were vital evidence. Oh no, I got my ass kicked. Hold it, pal. Gumshoe to the rescue! Bro! Also, Rio saying you're planning on going on vacation sometime this summer, but the hotel I wanted to go to is like $240 a night. Ugh, oh, that's gross. That's fucking too pricey. Yeah, Gumshoe, the hero of the day. Detective? You think you was gonna stop me, Kappa? Beat it. Gah! Whoa. Come on, Gumshoe. Keep it together. You guys, get out of here. Leave this guy to me. But, go, pal, and take this. If you get hurt, who's gonna look after Maggie, huh? What? Alright, thanks, Gumshoe. Wait, Nick, don't leave me behind. Getting out of here. I'll get even with that guy tomorrow. In court. Tender lender's going down. Yeah, that just turbo sucks. There isn't any other hotels that are like a bit more reasonable of a price? Let's see, yes. Activato. Extra save just because I can. Alright, we're going back to trial, folks. And back in lobby number 1. Good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning, Maggie. So, what do you think is going to happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well and ended on a giant mystery. That's true. We still haven't solved a single part of it yet. Are you okay, Nick? Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, it's a hotel that's used to host your local anime convention, so you want to go to the hotel. Oh, that's fair. That's a trick. It's more a matter of... It's, at this point, keep an eye out for sales, and, like... Yeah, if you can support that business, by all means, but if you can't, it's one of those things that you might have to swing... Yeah, might have to swing around, unfortunately, which always sucks. I saw that. That little flash of doubt in your eyes. No, that wasn't doubt. That was, determination. Yeah, determination, like Undertale. Why don't I believe you? It's nearly time, Maggie. You better get going to the defendant's seat. Roger, don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you. Hey, pal. Oh, hey, Detective Gumshoe. Quit stressing Maggie out. She doesn't need that. How do you know she was stressed? I was watching through the doorway. Oh. You look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Yeah, maybe this'll help. Huh? Have you taken up aromatherapy too? Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me that you don't remember this thing. Come to think of it, that doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles. This is a small bottle that turned up in Trey Band's kitchen a couple days ago. Yeah, we gave it to Gumshoe. Oh, look at these bottles. You go to aromatherapy bottles. So many that are falling on the floor. Wait a minute. There's one bottle that's different. Well, you know, with no label. And it doesn't smell. We finally got the analysis results back from the lab. So, what is it? Is it the poison? I'm afraid not, pal. It's medication. Medication? Yeah, for ears. Topical use only, apparently. We found Glenn Elg's medicine. For ears, you mean... Yeah, it's the medication Glenn Elg was using for his ruptured eardrum. What was Glenn Elg's ear medicine doing in the kitchen? Oh, look at that. What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that? Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour and they might have gotten something on the prints, but... It's gonna weaken its impact as a piece of evidence. Okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today, got it? I just have to get a day or two less than I want to. And if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. I'm gonna expose that guy for what he's done, or my name isn't Phoenix Wright. January 8th, 10 a.m. We're going to court. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor. Very good. Then we'll get underway at once. Yesterday we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems. The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand. Thank you, Mr. Godot. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet, the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear. It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick? Huh. Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn with it. You've lost me already, Mr. Godot. What the fuck are you talking about? Toaster face. Why? Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Only losers think like that. You gotta change with the times. That's one of my rules. Are you implying that you resolve these contradictions? You know the answers to these riddles? The old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here. He's throwing us off the scent. And today, I'll prove it. Very well. Let the first witness take the stand. And you are?
Oh, bonjour everyone. I am Jean Armstrong, the owner and head chef of La Tribulations restaurant. Enchanté.
Forgive me for asking, witness, but are you a woman?
Oh là là, monsieur. As you can see, I am la perte and perky gentleman, no?
Judge, that's a little phobic of you there, dude. What are you doing there, Judge? On the day of the incident, you were in Trey Bien's kitchen. Isn't that right?
With you, monsieur.
Huh?
Everything feels right.
That's not appropriate to ask someone. It really isn't. Huh. Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy?
Very well. Your testimony, please, witness. Please tell the court what happened that day at Trey Bien.
Oui, volontiers.
Okay.
When it all happened, there was just 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new art decos that day. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. Oui, perhaps that is what that old man was looking at. La cup, la earpiece, and the glasses. He would have seen everything in reverse, no?
But mirror?
Oui, un grand mirror. A most enormous mirror.
And suddenly, the mystery disappears. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it.
That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror would have made everything appear back to front.
What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Alright, yeah, there's a lot of suspicion in there. So there's just 2 customers in my restaurant. Tell me. And who were the 2 customers exactly?
Me, of course. The young man who died. And that other, not so young man.
You're referring to yesterday's witness, I presume.
What about the other man Maggie says she saw at the table? Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence. We need some hard evidence first before we can bring him up, don't we? I guess I'll just have to try a different approach for the time being.
I remember I was experimenting with some new Art Deco that day. Let's try that.
You were experimenting with Art Deco? How come I never heard about that before today?
You're not familiar with the language of interior design, monsieur?
Please stay on topic. Now, why didn't you tell the court about this before?
But I did, just a few moments ago.
Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong. This deco you mentioned, are you referring to some sort of decoction?
No, Art Deco is its style of design, Your Honor. He's talking about interior design. Walls, ceilings, carpets, that kind of thing.
Oh yes, of course. That deco.
I was trying to achieve a more la feminine look for my restaurant. I was planning the most bold remodeling of la decor.
Yeah. How big of a mirror are we talking about here with this big-ass mirror that you put in?
Both. Something about 4 meters wide and about 2 meters high.
Let's see. 1 meter is about 1 yard. Holy glass in a frame, that's huge!
I was intending to install it on the ceiling eventually.
The ceiling? Is there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember.
Man, no. But I decided not to go through with it in the end.
What should I do? Should I ask him more about the mirror or not? You know what? Yeah. I'll press harder. If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. But there's nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggie Bird's testimonies.
But...
You didn't ask, Trite. You have only yourself to blame for such sloppy work. What? A mirror was delivered to Trey Ben the day before the incident. But really? As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes. And as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end. This just doesn't add up. Even if a mirror was delivered to Trey Ben, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime. Huh. If you want to doubt someone, try it. Look in the mirror. I'm sure the person looking back at you will be dubious enough.
So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in a mirror.
Yeah, tell me more. Normally, I'd expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object. Normally? How does normality come into this? That's lame, Trite. Even for you. Yeah, how do you not notice you're looking at a mirror, though? Huh? Are you trying to say that if something isn't normal, it isn't possible? Is that it? Where does that leave the porky-headed lawyer and the top-knot chick over there? Hey, that's rude! Where does that leave you, Godot? With your friggin' X-Men cosplay gone wrong. And the ungodly cool guy with the mask over here. Well, Trite. He's like, you two are losers. I'm super cool. Look at me. And my multiple piercings, goatee, and super cool mask. God damn. Ack, not the hair.
I do not have a top knot.
Mr. Godot is correct. You have a top knot. The lack of normality is no basis for discounting an argument.
Bien. Logic has won the day.
Yeah, I'll press this too. Everything? You would have seen everything in reverse?
Oui. Hey, Nick, we should take a second think about what old Sadie said in his testimony.
How did he phrase it again? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question. You can look me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. Then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand.
If he saw everything he described reflected in a mirror, then everything he said saw on the happen on the left was actually on the right, huh?
And that clears up all the problems with his testimony, I guess. Or does it? Huh.
Kinda hard to believe everything was the fault of a mirror, but do you think old Sadie saw everything through a reflection?
If he did, it would explain all the contradictions in his testimony.
But that just makes the situation worse for Maggie. There's got to be something in that old man's testimony. We just got to dig deeper.
Yeah, let me try something here. Yeah, except it says right here that he wore his HMD over his left eye. Like, it's in his, literally in his description that he wore it over his left eye. Oh, the coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question. You can look me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. So, to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw all that as a reflection in the mirror, it means that both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side.
Exactement. You see, monsieur. Now that you think about it, it's not so hard, no?
Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in the mirror, why is it the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head? How did it get there?
Order, order. Mr. Wright is correct. If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been over his right eye.
How bitter. Trite, you should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time. Are we talking about your coffee or something completely different? You don't understand the way the witness thinks. How he thinks? If you hate the taste of bitterness, why do you keep drinking dark coffee? Who has the most channel points? Wazzy at 70k. Yeah, Wazzy I think is at 70k. She's most like, if she really wanted to signal hijack, she could. Very easily. Like, soon. I broke the vase. Sorry, apology Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony? Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. Don't forget I'm coming to grab an old laptop, right? Is it the old Sony? If it's the old Sony, I'll grab it down for you. To make it easier for you. Oh. Oh no, my headset. It's okay. I know what I'm doing. There, I got the old Sony laptop and its charger. Oh, what did I just drop? What the fuck was that? I'm finding things in my closet, people. I don't know what's going on. Et voila. I put it right by your feet there.
No, I was looking for the other one I had in between.
Oh, the Toshiba.
Yeah, because I think I moved into this house with Toshiba, did I not?
Yes, yeah, because you got Sony in this one. So yeah, Toshiba. Here's
the charger for it.
Yeah, give me a second. I think I see it. Here.
Hi, crew. I don't know if you muted.
I'm not muted. Fuck it.
Oh.
They know who you are.
I'm praying there's something on it.
Yeah.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye for now. Alright. Yes. Chris says hi. Kakashi says hi back. There we go. Kakashi, you're cute, so cute I can't stand it. Well, thank you, I guess. Oh, also, everyone's on a watch streak. That's awesome. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. Elk?
Clearly, it's the victim's eyepiece.
And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Elg's HMD made a big impression on the old man. Schlap. Alright, I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they're both his left ear, do you hear? His left ear. Ha. Well, Trite? Irk. That's the worst, but best impression of Kudo ever. Oh, I really thought he was old seedy for a minute there. Kudo was good. You forgot to ask your opinion on Summer Games Fest? I actually didn't watch it. The only thing I'm excited about is crossplay on Monster Hunter Wilds, which means more people get to play together, and it makes it just so much easier. And, like, I know there's some folks who prefer playing on console who are now not limited to who they can play with. Because I imagine... I don't know what ROM would get it on, PC or PS5. I'm probably going to pick it up on PC. And, yeah, because PC would probably work best for me. I need to actually go through World and get my Iceborne save. Other than that, I didn't really see too much that was, like, hugely exciting to me. Other than the Cult of the Lamb stuff. Cult of the Lamb local co-op is actually really cool. A lot of games, none of them personally stuck out. Yeah, there's high quality, but if it doesn't stick out, it's not worth it.
I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony.
Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of contradiction you found is just a rash.
A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong.
It's just a rash. Put some powder on it. Yeah.
Go on, tell the court. We're all ears. Yeah, look at the size of my ears. They're huge.
Oui, I can explain. Please, if you will look at la plans of the restaurant.
The mirror.
Alors, is everyone sitting comfortably? La mirror, it was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves. There's only one seat from which you could have seen an image of la victime. That was the seat at la seat at the table next to la victims. That was where the old man was sitting. After la terrible incident occurred, blah, 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 blah. I removed la mirror so it was not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else.
I'm so confused. How did you not know there was a mirror? Yeah, like... See no problems with the explanation we just heard. On the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror.
What a naughty little coquette I am, confusing all the men like this.
Don't worry about it. We can keep up, except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again.
Urgh, I hate that guy. You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that?
Volontiers, of course.
Now, how did they not know there was a mirror? Like, that would have been a huge part of the previous testimony. And Maggie would have said, yeah, the giant mirror in the way is something I would have, like, hip-checked while bringing the coffee over. Well, let's cross-examine this bitch. The mirror. Yeah. It's like, so, run this by me again. The mirror was here, correct?
We?
Really? Because if I know were you, I wouldn't have put a mirror there. It would be in the way. Look who's talking, trite. Huh? You're obstructing my view, among other things.
But this is my seat in the courtroom. This is mine.
Trebien's charm is that it gives you the impression that you're the only customer. Temporarily placing a mirror in that spot would hardly be in the way. Unlike you, trite.
I tell you, monsieur, the mirror was there in the middle of the restaurant.
You see, and where would that be?
Oh la la, look how you lean towards me. I always attract the younger boys. Maybe I should keep you in suspense a little longer.
Mr. Armstrong, tell the court what you know at once.
I attract the older ones too, you know, handsome. Shall I tease you too?
God damn, Armstrong.
I'm already seeing a very hot someone, so I'm afraid you'll have to be waiting for a long time.
I bet she has mocha cream skin and cappuccino perfume. Bien, I will tell you, there was only one seat from which you could have seen. That was the seat at the table next to la victims.
Hold it.
So I can only see the victim from that particular seat. Mais, monsieur, it is obvious, no? If you look at the plans, you will understand. A victim would have been reflected in the mirror like so. If you are sitting at that table next to him, you would see everything, no? So that's the seat old Cedar was sitting in on that day, when the poisoning happened. The old man was sitting at the table next to the victim? Why does that seem kinda odd? After the terrible incident occurred...
Did you move the mirror while Mr. Kudo was off calling the police?
Oui, exactement. I carried it out of the restaurant then.
You moved a huge mirror like that all by yourself?
What can I say? I know how to pick things up, handsome.
God, he's such a fucking flirt.
Godot actually laughed at something?
Well, given the witness's physique, I suppose it is possible.
Are you kidding? A 4 meter by 2 meter mirror? Like, no, you couldn't pick that up by yourself, not due to its weight, but just to how fucking unwieldy that would be.
Did you move anything else from the crime scene, Mr. Armstrong?
I look like the obliging type, no?
Naturally, did not touch anything else. Are you sure? Are you sure?
I touched nothing except la mirror.
Mr. Wright, is there something the witness has said that doesn't match the crime scene?
Yeah, there is. I just can't put my finger on what exactly. Suffering from a case of heartburn trait?
Oh, it's just a thing for that. I know a golden mirror and Frankenstein's.
Frankenstein's? Not frankincense? Are you sure? Frankenstein's. It's just frankincense, but man, you will not get out of cloth if you get it on, if you stain it. Like, no. Add a few drops to your coffee and voila. Enjoy. Focus, Phoenix. Breathe. I need to ignore those two and just find some evidence.
It's pretty strange, though, isn't it? I mean, nobody mentioned anything about a really large mirror. You'd think someone would have, but Maggie didn't, and neither did old CD.
Then the only logical explanation is that there's no mirror inside Trey Band that day. I just got to prove it, somehow. See the table old man was sitting. Are we sure? Wait, let me check something. Wait a minute. Yeah, how do you not know it was a mirror? That couldn't have been. Guys. Whoops. No. I want to look at this again. I accidentally right-clicked. Didn't the old man knocked over his vase? This vase is very not knocked over. He can't have been sitting at this seat. Because if this was the crime scene, and during the crime, he knocked over a vase. Yeah, no. He can't have done it. Can't have done it. This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we've heard, Your Honor.
The crime photo?
Yes. This photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist.
What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright?
Should not exist? Huh. Sounds like you're just describing yourself, right? God damn, Godot, you're super harsh. You shouldn't exist, asshole. Like, who says that? That's rude.
Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement. What is this something that should not exist in this photo?
I already showed crew. I'll show everyone else. That. I think it's pretty obvious that this is what should not be in that picture.
The vase? What possible connection does that have with this witness's testimony?
Your Honor, I'm telling you that there should have been no vase on this table. Because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence. Yeah. The vase should be broken. Why is this man so bitchy? I don't know why Godot's such a bitch, but man, he just hates us. There's one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court could see, there's an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? as Mr. Kudo was not, in fact, sitting at that table next to the victim at all. Don't be an idiot, Trite. That's impossible. That seat's the only one Kudo could have seen the victim's reflection from. Exactly. There's only one conclusion we could draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Trey Ban that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie.
Mon Dieu!
Don't try to confuse the court, Trite. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase, while the police was taking their time getting to the crime scene. Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary. In his own words, I did not touch anything else except the mirror. Gah! Coffee chugging time. Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself?
Yeah.
I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day. In light of this revelation, we return back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear which she couldn't hear? Huh. You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back. As Drake will say in a few years, YOLO. Because this is pre-Drake for sure. If you want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, Trite, then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw? If I can answer this, then I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it.
Are you gonna be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick?
There's more than just this one contradiction, Maya.
What do you mean?
Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man at the victim's table, and there was a sample CD on the victim's table. It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason. Why nothing in this case is adding up. Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradictions is simple. Kudo made a mistake, your doctor made a mistake, or the victim is a phony. I think he was a great big phony. I think this is actually probably right. This case is riddled with contradictions. Yet, there's one very simple answer that clears them all up. And what's that? The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events. What? Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Elg at all. It was an imposter, a phony pretending to be Mr. Elg. He was a great big phony. Obviously, unlike the victim, there's nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. Phew. Order in the court. Settle down or I'll clear the courtroom. Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here, huh? You can't say that to the judge or just the prosecutor, dude. What did you say? Oh man, you pissed off the judge, dude. Trite, are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup? Yes. How very concise of him. Just, yep. Someone pretended to be Glenn Elg and acted out the whole coffee poisoning. All for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo. Get real, Trite. Why would anyone want to do that? Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was... The serving girl brought him a Javicino, but she put something in it. That's the serving girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. It's so hard to believe. It's so hard to believe, but... There was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. To show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee. Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story was a fake as well? It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but... It's also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed what was happening. That's right. Well, witness? If your restaurant really was a scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct?
Oh la la, this is most difficult for me.
No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You're under oath, after all. Was there, in fact, a phony at Trey Ban that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened. Rose has a shit ton of pills. I think he has like a bucket of roses, like how Kudo had just like the infinite seed trick. Everyone has infinite prop magic in this world. That's why Kudo has so much coffee. Everyone has infinite prop magic. Oh, hello, Red Dragon. How's it going? Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Oh, good morning for me. If I remember correctly, you're like way ahead of me. Time-wise.
The defense's request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain, in detail, the events in the restaurant that day.
What? We? Yeah, you're in the future? Future. No avatar? Yeah, my reactive is buggy. And I know it's I know it's reactives. Because, yeah, it's reactives are acting buggy because I'm literally activating everyone's reactive and I'm not getting anything popping up on the screen. So, it's Discord reactive that's acting up, unfortunately.
La victime, Monsieur Elk, he came to my restaurant alone. I remember that old man arrived not long after him. There were no other customers. When he got word he won the lottery, Monsieur Elk became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that poisoning incident occurred. No, there was no time for a phony to do the acting.
Just so we're clear, there's no mirror in the restaurant after all.
Je vous demande pardon. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly.
What you've done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. Purged. I'll decide how to punish you later.
Oui.
For now, we will hear your cross-examination. Mr. Wright, if you please.
He took that perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after all this cross-examination. Alright, let's cross-examine the shit out of this guy.
La victime, Monsieur Elg.
Press!
Was he alone at his table as well? Mais oui, I saw him from la kitchen.
The other defendant, Ms. Bird, remembers it differently. She swears there was another man at the victim's table. Huh. Unfortunately for you, Trite. Yesterday's witness also testified that the victim was alone. Huh. You know, seeing you squirm like that reminds me of a certain coffee's bittersweet bite. What kind of coffee has he been drinking? That is Vito Tube.mini? I don't know what that is. I'm gonna have to look into that. I'll have to do that after stream, but I'll definitely look into that as a different option.
It's not coffee, it's love. It's love that's bittersweet.
Hearing Maya say that makes you seem wise all of a sudden. Your question, Matt, if you're a monster person, what monster would you be? Depends on how you define monster person. Like, my brain said fucking orc, but like, orcs are not a monster type person. I would probably say... Are there male Gorgons? I don't think there is. Yeah, Red Dragon obviously would be a dragon. Some sort of dragonborn type fella. I'd probably be... I think like Universal Monsters? Oh, like the Universal Monsterverse? Probably some sort of Yeti, knowing me. I'm tall, I'm fuzzy. No, that would actually track, yeah. I would say that. Alright. Let's press this statement. By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct? Thought he'd be more of a Frankenstein? No, definitely more of a Bigfoot. A Sam Squatch.
Oui, he comes often for my special coffee.
I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience.
Oh, you make me so happy, monsieur. You're most welcome any time.
I said it was worth one sip, and nothing more. So old Mr. Kudo arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe we should ask about his arrival in more detail. Yeah, what time was it? What time was the arrival? Out of curiosity, about what time was it when Mr. Kudo arrived?
Oh no, I cannot remember, monsieur.
Believe we were told by a witness yesterday.
The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir.
Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness?
The incident happened about 20 minutes after you arrived. So the victim must have arrived between 2 p.m. and 2:10 p.m., no?
I feel like if the Invisible Man, all the goofy parts, like how he ran around with just pants on. No, he's great. That's always great. Just after 2, huh?
Thank you for your help in jogging my memory, monsieur. You are wonderful.
I can't just sit here all the time and do nothing now, can I? The time of day will be added to the witness's testimony.
Oui, monsieur judge. Everything I do it for you.
We need a Matt Yeti PNG. It's just me just being extra fuzz. No, it has to be specifically Bigfoot, not Yeti. Like, the classic, like, Sam Squatch. The Sam Squatch walk.
Merci bien. That's French, isn't it? Ha ha ha!
That was thank you good, is what he just said. I'm glad at least one person's in a good mood.
He's even humming a song to himself.
Have you remember the old man arrived on after him just after 2 p.m.? Yeah, let me press that deep. Let me go in more of that. Are you absolutely sure about the time?
When I think really hard, I'm sure it was just after 2, oui. It's the time I stopped serving the lunch menu.
Quite right. I always break for lunch when the restaurants are serving their specials. I've been known to wind up a case early just to make it on time.
Wow. Wow. You're just like, yeah, no, you're super guilty. I can't. You need to be guilty. I need my Big Mac. Wow, Judge. What are you doing, dude? For daily life, it would be a dull hand? Just to pop your head off? Haha. I guess you should never get between a hungry judge and his lunch.
Oh, would you look at that? It's almost lunchtime already.
Witness, get on with your testimony, please.
There were no other customers.
So it was only ones with Mr. Kudo and the victim? How many times did you ask the same thing, trite? You'd never catch me drinking the same blend twice. Huh? You're trying to establish the presence of a phony victim in the restaurant. But you're wasting your time. You can't grind birdseed to make coffee, if you catch my drift. I don't. But there's a hole in this testimony somewhere, I'm sure of it.
When he got word he won the lottery, Monsieur Elk became very excited.
Did you see him?
No, I was in the kitchen, but I heard him. I remember him shouting, "Yes, $500,000."
Presumably the defendant heard that too, then correct?
Maggie? She looked like a poor little frightened dove.
What about Mr. Kudo?
The old man choked on some birdseed that got stuck in his throat.
Seems we now have yet another incident on our hands.
It's approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred? Sure. What were you doing at that point? Without any customers, you must have had time to kill.
I am a multi-talented woman, monsieur.
Why is he eating birdseed? I don't know. Sometimes you just need to munch on seeds. Sorry, what do you mean?
There's a renowned chef, John Armstrong, and the tragic poet, Clarice Armstrong.
Clarice?
Oui, I was writing a poem, an angry tale of a chef and $500,000 of debt, cooking for a man who won $500,000 on the lottery. It is called Pourquoi. It means why. Perhaps I could recite it for la court?
Please don't. There's no time for phony dual acting? Are you sure? You mean you contacted the police as soon as the incident occurred?
I asked the old man to call from the payphone.
By your own argument, trite. The purpose of this phony victim's performance was so that the old man would see it. In other words, once the incident occurred, this opportunity would completely disappear.
Indeed.
Bien. It seems like the Chateau d'Art has been lifted, n'est-ce pas?
Yes, Mr. Armstrong is connected to this case, huh? Absolutely. Someone was impersonating Mr. Elk. I refuse to believe he was oblivious. He was there the whole time, after all. But if you're right, wouldn't Meg give notice too? She fell unconscious when the incident occurred, remember?
Ah, you mean that's when the phony staged his act?
We'll know for sure once I find a hole in his testimony. Here? Like Joseph Joestar, instead of the Japanese, it's the French. The damn Frenchmans. Where's that? I thought I had a... Here it is. Oh! The most thrilling 10 minutes of your life every Monday at 1:30. 1:30. They're saying this all happened at 2. Wait a goddamn minute. Wait a goddamn. I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong.
What? What do you mean?
At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week, they announced the winning numbers of the $500,000 lottery ticket.
Oui, that must be the show Monsieur Elk was listening to.
I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright.
I wonder. You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct?
Oui, I am sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was that time because I had just finished serving on the lunch menu.
Get to the point, Trite, if you have one. That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m. and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life.
It's on the air at 1:30?
Now, supposedly the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 p.m. Because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time.
No!
This victim we've been told about has been done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum. Catching a show that was already over. There's only one conclusion you draw from these facts. This victim was an imposter acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Yes, there was 2 Glen Elgs in Tribune that day. The real Glen Elg, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer. And the phony Glen Elg, acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness.
It certainly seems that way.
Thank God for radio still being alive. Radio killed the programmer star. That's kind of what happened. That's not what happened here, but it certainly didn't help.
I mean, if that wasn't the case, how could you explain the time discrepancy?
Quite a performance trait. You're almost on a roll. Huh. But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your song. What is this? Music Theory 101? Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it's now just after 2 p.m. The phony Elg is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain then where the real Glen Elg is? I don't believe I have to spell this out for the court, however, at that time the real Glen Elg was already dead.
That's certainly the obvious conclusion.
Thank you, Trey. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say. What? Now, I presume you could prove this theory of yours. It's just a theory. A court theory. Can you explain where the missing corpse went to? A court theory. Thanks for courting. Thanks for litigating. Wait, no, let me say that properly. That's just a theory. A court theory. Thanks for litigating. There we go. That sounds clippable. The missing corpse. According to the old man's testimony, there's only one other customer there. If that customer was the phony Glen Elg, then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim? Narg!
The prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to examination by the court, you must provide us with proof by answering the prosecution's question. Where did the killer hide the body?
Yes, Your Honor. Back in my childhood, we didn't have cable. We had one of those rabbit antenna for free channels, and PBS was a lifesaver. Man, I remember watching a lot of PBS when I was a kid. A lot of Arthur. When I was a youngin'. What the fuck coffee? What the fuck coffee is that? It was gray. It's not good. It's bad coffee. That's some shit coffee, man. Back in my day, we had to listen to radio. We only had 4 TV channels. I listened to a lot of radio just because, like, radio was way more prevalent because there wasn't any streaming. I didn't own a lot of CDs. My brother and I shared a boombox, but, like, we didn't have a lot of CDs when we were little kids. So we listened to a lot of radio as a kid. No conjecture, Trite. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden. Evidence? What's with the intense pressure in here all of a sudden? Thought I had him with that contradiction. But he's turned it all around and backed me into a corner instead. My favorite shows are Cyber Chase or Go Fetch. I don't remember those ones, unfortunately.
Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense's theory and evidence. First, where was the body of the real Mr. L concealed?
Inside Tribune. It would have had to been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside Tribune.
Interesting. But where could a body have been hidden inside a restaurant? Perhaps you'd care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. Exact location of the body was the kitchen. Body was hidden here.
I see.
Nice supposition. But the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location? That is this. It would have fallen. That's his medicine. Probably fell out of his pocket. Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle?
No. I have never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. I only use the very best bottles, monsieur. The highest quality, only for me.
Where's that bottle found, Mr. Wright? Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Tribune.
Eh? Quoi? But I never use these bottles for my aromatherapy oils.
But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication.
What kind of medication?
I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? That Mr. Elk visited an otolaryngological clinic. That word. Wait, where am I? Sir K, it turns out Discord Reactive Images is busted right now, so I'm the invisible man. I'm here, but I'm not here. I guess sent to the shadow room. Yeah. I have to wait till the radio play the music we like to record on our Walkman, and if we mess up, we have to wait till next time. Yeah, oh god, I remember recording mixtapes on a fucking off the radio. I did that all the time. I did that quite often as a kid. We didn't have a lot of cassettes, but like the ones we did have were absolutely just pulled off the radio. You can't be serious. The defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed, and I have the lab results here. The contents of the bottle matched the prescription that was given to Mr. Elg. Bwah! Glenn Elg's murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen, at which time this bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen?
Mon Dieu!
Yes, you know what I'm about to say. It was you who hid the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Bird. However, you were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back.
No!
Yeah.
Order, this is an extraordinary development.
How many flowers does he have? Just a couple dozen.
Witness, did you murder Mr. Glenn Elk?
Never! I cannot do such an horrible thing.
Never trust the French.
No!
Okay.
Oh! Mr. Godot!
The bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I was down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules. One of my rules is I chug an entire mug of coffee if someone says even the slightest white lie. One time, a girl said, "Oh no, I can't go out tonight. I'm just washing my hair." I drank an entire pot of coffee because of that. It hurt my soul. You must crap a lot. I have the cleanest fucking tract. Because I drink so much coffee. Someone help me, please. Do you have the slightest idea how many cups you've had by now? I like to do the same to the person who lied to me. I like to take them down with my empty cup. Listen up, chef. I want a brand new flavor in your ear, my H-deficient friend.
Je vous demande pardon. Please, you must hear me out. It's a trap. Listen to me. Por favor.
You just went into Spanish. Yo hablo español, Mr. Armstrong, and por favor is Spanish. You gonna be quiet, do some summer cleaning and moving Christmas stuff to shit? Yeah, absolutely fair, Sir K. If you're just listening, feel free to just listen in. I'm only gonna ask you this once. Did you do it?
No. Absolutely no.
Let's hear it. You've got one shot, right, Gramps?
Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Godot's coffee mug awaits you, as does my gavel.
Oui, it is clear.
What do they always say in the movies? I've got a bad feeling about this. Ah, that's a Han Solo line there, buddy. Alright.
Very well. Begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong.
The confession.
It is true, I hid the body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. But I did not kill him, I swear it. You must believe me.
You were forced by who?
I cannot say. I will be erased.
Let's try a different question then. When Mr. Elk died, was he really the only person at his table?
There was another man.
I was thinking of leaving my house. Damn it, didn't know Star Wars existed in Ace Attorney. I had a feeling it would. I knew it.
Maggie was telling the truth.
You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright.
There's just one more thing I need to do. I gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer. Alright.
Is it true? I hid the body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse.
I'm gonna guess... A man forced me to do it. I bet I can name that man. I bet I know the name of the man. Furio Tigre. By the way, mate, good job on Zuko's mom. Thank you? I also re-listened to that for the first time. I forgot that video existed, honestly. Let's end this dance of Ring Around the Rosie, Mr. Armstrong. This is the man that you've been referring to.
Ah!
Who is that? I feel like I've seen him somewhere before.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe a month ago in this very courtroom. This man is Furio Tigre. He's the manager of a loan office called Tender Lender.
Huh.
There's no point trying to hide the truth anymore, Mr. Armstrong. I know you couldn't go against Mr. Tigre. At least, not while he had this on you. You owe that man money! A $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything this man told you.
Oui, it is as you say. Mr. Armstrong. Le Tigre. He told me he was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was meeting the victim to demand that he repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. I just did what he told me to do. I had no choice. I carried the body and the inconscient Maggie out of the dining area and into the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen.
I think we can now safely say that the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tigre.
I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. The poison and the lottery ticket that were found in the defendant's apron pocket. Was that your doing as well?
No, I knew nothing about that. Making it look like it was Maggie who had done it. I was not. It is despicable.
Mr. Godot. You will summon this Furio Tigre as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, so we'll adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow.
30 minutes. What? The trial will go on. I'll see it to myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more. How the... Don't sit back and relax yet, trite. I feel like Phoenix watches a lot of Columbo, which I need to watch the show. People say it's so good. I've heard Columbo is very good. No one knows if that chef's really telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way.
Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Godot. We'll resume once Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess.
To be continued. All right.
Shut up and take my money.
Oh, dang. Hello, Ace. Although you're saying hell, Matt. That's how you say evil, Matt. It's hell, Matt. Also, thank you for the resub. 13 months. A year and a month, dude. Thank you so much. That's genuinely fucking... I appreciate that a lot. It's like, oh, sweet recess. I call dibs on the seesaw or that spinning thing that is really unsafe. Oh, yeah, like the friggin' merry-go-round carousel items. Yeah, those are deeply unsafe. I remember when I was young, and I'm talking like young. I was like maybe 4 or 5, like in that range of like 4 to 5 years old. There was a playground close to my house, which used to have one of those merry-go-rounds, but it got torn out because a kid like biffed it and ended up in the hospital because of it. So they tore the entire merry-go-round carousel thingy out. I was a really little kid. I used to love playing on that thing, but then someone got themselves like deeply injured because it was one of the ones that had like the arm bars on it. How old am I? I'm not afraid to say. I'm 35. I'll admit my age. Like, yeah, I'm 35 years old. Mrs. Merry-Go-Rounds, I feel like it might have been the reason I got taken out of my school. Honestly, yeah. Like, and the amount of videos I've seen online of any playgrounds that still have them and people fucking up on them and like getting trashed. Yeah. I was pretty young. I thought you were older. The hell? How old did you think I was, Snake? What the fuck? What's that supposed to mean? Try system restoring old laptops and the old phone's still not putting... Ah, shit. The plus side is... I think it's lost cause. That sucks, babe. Like, the plus side is there is ways to, like, get the hard drives out. And, there's the possibility of getting the hard drives out and recovering them. Like, we might need to get some help with them, but there should be a way to recover the drives at the very least. It might just take a little bit of extra help. I was thinking, you thought it was late 30s. So you thought it was only like a couple years older. Yeah, on the phone and the hard... the system restored on the... Oh, because, yeah, we did clear the old laptops, didn't we? There's always a way to recover drives. They're not safe. Yeah, that's the thing. The phone drive, if the computer doesn't have them, there's not much that the computer can do. But the phone, there is a way to get... If the phone can get power, there's ways to get stuff off the drive. I know there is. There is data recovery, especially, like... As long as we didn't factory reset the phone, which I don't think we did, there's got to be a way to get stuff off the phone. We might just need to contact a specialist for it. I know it's not going well. I'm sorry. I really am. Your phone's more broken because you launched out of the office. No, this is a different phone. It's a different thing, Kakashi. Don't worry about it. Yeah, there are people that do that. There are people who like they specialize in pulling stuff. I had to delete all my photos. Yeah, I was trying to fix her phone, and I didn't know that they were backed up. And we're now trying to recover photos from places because I didn't know that the photos weren't backed up on her phone. So, and that's entirely on me. That's entirely on me. And like, I fucked up. And it wasn't saved even after being in a fire. Imagine with some finagle, you could do it. Yeah. So yeah, the phone should be recovered. The old phone, if there's anything on it, it can be recovered. We just need to dig into it a little more. I'm sure it can be done. But yeah, I fucked up is what happens. Yeah. So we're finally going to see the Tiger on the stand. We've almost got this case won now, Nick. I wish I could agree. Huh? When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now. Spank Prolix for being a bad... That's a bit of a weird way to put it, Red Dragon. Also, hello, Dino. How's it going? Howdy, Dino Aurora. Crossing Mr. Armstrong right now. He said he was just doing what the Tiger told him to do. Brigido picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that without proof, we don't know if what he testified is the truth.
Cheers, I'll drink to that, bro.
Oh, the hydrate. Thank you, Snake. You mean you think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I don't know. If that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I have the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence that we're going to need. Hey, pal. Sure. You know what? I'll stop here with Detective Gumshoe looking at us angrily. He wants us to keep going, but I am going to talk about Ratchet & Clank Future, A Crack in Time. That was one of the PS3 Ratchet & Clanks, because that the Future series was all on the PS3. It was genuinely really solid. And I remember it had some small time travel mechanics. But it was really solid platformer. Like, honestly, I haven't finished the other Ratchet and Clanks on PS3, but like they're all really solid platformers. But yeah, it's pretty damn good. It's good stuff. I would definitely. It's one of those. If you have a PS3 and you ever find those honestly, most PS3 games are bargain bin sale stuff anyway. But Crack in Time, I definitely recommend. If you like solid platformers, it plays basically just like the other Ratchet and Clank games in a lot of ways. So it's definitely worth picking up. I actually really want to get into more of the Ratchet and Clank games. I really do like that platforming style. Like the wacky guns, I like the humor. I need to double check to see if I have the PS5 or the reboot Ratchet and Clank on my nostalgia time, because that's another one that I've beaten. I've only played a couple of them. You need to go back and play the original. See, I like Jak and Daxter. I tried playing Jak and Daxter, and I just couldn't get into it. I couldn't do it. Yeah, it just couldn't be done. Anyway, Detective Gumshoe. What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end. Hey, that's the puck on the kettle black, little Ms. Top Knot. It's not a top knot. Okay. You know what? No. Maya, crew will decide. I'm gonna put up a quick little poll. It's very simple. Does Maya have a top knot? Yes or no? There's a poll for everyone. Is this a top knot? Got the one vote in. You know what? The one is enough. I think it's a top knot too. I'm going to vote on my own poll. Who cares? No one can stop me. Yeah, Maya, that's a top knot. That is definitely a fucking top knot. Hey, who's saying no? I mean, I guess it's kind of like a ponytail thing, but it's ponytail-ish. But need another angle to see? Yeah, that's fair. Never mind about the hair. Just calm down, alright? I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kind of get wound up. Ah! No kidding. Gotta have something you need me to do, pal. Anything. Well, hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I could get some prints analyzed for you if you got an hour. An hour? Trial will have reconvened by then. But Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right? True. Without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck. You said you get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour? You bet. In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me? Yeah, unidentified fingerprints. Yeah, that was a better angle. Okay. If you're gonna go back to the station anyway, could you find out whose prints are on this? So you can saying, fuck, it's hot and humid. It might rain today. Red Dragon saying, oh, you don't think it's top knot? You know what, that's fair. I mean, the majority says top knot, but... Oh, wait, that's a small bottle I gave back to you this morning, right? Yeah, I think it's time we solved the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to. Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me, too. Small bottle given to Gumshoe, so we can't use it. Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back. This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess. Poll completed. Maya has a top knot. It's almost a dinky, actually. It's a bit of a dinky hair. Alright, it's 1:56 p.m. In-game. Alright.
Court will now reconvene. Mr. Godot, did you find this Furio Tigre?
I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job. No problem. Tamed him? The guy's name may be Furio Tigre, but come on. He's pretty lively. Be careful, he still bites.
Very well, please show Mr. Tigre to the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the...
Grrrr! Ah! I was wrong. Wiki says it's a top knot. Don't hide under the table, Maya. This is room for me down there, too.
Would you mind?
What you say to me?
Nothing. I didn't say nothing. Honest.
I guess Vera introduced a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge. I got business to take care of, you hear me? So who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Spiky? No, of course not. It was the judge. Your Honor?
Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal.
He's been in the sunbed too long. Yeah, he's toasty. That's it. We're doomed. Maybe you didn't hear me. I said, who the hell was it that called me in here? There's no need to shout. We can all hear you. What'd you say? There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. And I'm the one that hauled you in. Grr. Too cool. Don't let him get the better of you, Nick. Looking at nothing. Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, mask boy. He's even got the roar of a tiger. And the flashiest shirt on the planet. Or the temper one. You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird? Maggie who? I got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas.
Of course. Well, perhaps you give us your testimony then. Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder.
Huh. Phoenix Wright. Huh? You was the one who set this up, didn't you? You was gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying? Oh, maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today. Phoenix shit his pants. He should have worn his brown pants. Get a grip, Nick. Don't shit your pants, Nick. I'm down here. I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from Tender Lender every single day. You just want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta.
Oh, at last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, please...
Ah!
What is it, please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like that?
I know the kind of games that guy in the blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins. That's what lawyers do. Lowlife? Me? Listen up, smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000. You're gonna borrow the cash from me. That's one loan contract I refuse to sign. Don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with the tiger. Huh, I love a good spectator sport. Godot, you asshole, look what you did to me. You sicked a wild man on me.
Just a minute, that's really not...
This witness is, how can I put it, a hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side, and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours too.
Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here.
You's better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus.
Court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. You can do it, Nick. Come out from under the hurt already, would you? Come on, Maya. Okay, so I gotta be careful. Don't know nothing about no murder. I feel like this... Yeah, I feel like this is gonna be my best bet. If I press this. Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know. You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is. Sharp? Is she talking about Viola Cadaverini? She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was. When did Phoenix become a Yakuza? I don't know if he... Well, this is Furio Tigre. This is fake Phoenix. Phoenix right, as it were. Phoenix wrong. Also, hey Phoenix, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good day.
That seems like a rather sketchy schedule.
Rrr. There he goes again. Tiger did all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder. So yeah, press that harder. Mr. Sugar, what do you want? If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail. This is a dead end, Trite, and you know it. Remember the rules. No, it's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately.
I agree.
The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day, too? Good so far, just woke up. Oh, good morning. Rise and shine, motherfucker. Hope you're doing well. Maybe yous ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. I ain't never seen that young kid before.
I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Godot, if you could please...
Mr. Tigre, the court asks you to add that last statement to your testimony. Huh. Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself. Yeah. I was in the office. I never saw that kid before. That can't be right, though. I have a horse that says otherwise. Mr. Tigre, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Elg. Good point, yes, you save. We're getting intense here, folks. But it appears that Mr. Elg knew
Cheers,
you.
I'll drink to that, bro.
And Phoenix with the hydrate, thank ya. I appreciates that. What? Mr. Elg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the Tiger. And the date? December 3rd.
December 3rd? That's the day of the murder.
So, Mr. Tigre, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glenn Elg. Because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. Not bad. You was actually not bad. Sorry? I was just messing with you to see how good you were. Do you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad. That's one compliment I could do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth.
Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated.
You was calling me a liar? Is that what you doing?
Ruh-roh!
Oh, he went full Scooby-Doo there. He went Scooby-Don't.
So you're saying that your claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth?
I said I'm dead serious. You better believe that's the truth. Huh. Then I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. Thank you, prop man. That is, while you testify for the court again, Mr. Tigre.
Oh yes, would you mind indulging the court, witness?
Never actually met the victim? That's gotta be a lie right there. This time I nailed this guy. The victim, Glenn Elg. I ain't no liar. I never met Glenn Elg. There was some lame guy with that name, though. Wanted to borrow cash from me. Instead of a meeting with the guy at my office, ten to lender. I waited around for him, but he ain't never showed. I never been to that Tres Bien joint. You was here?
I see. That all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up.
I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead.
Very well. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's going straight to you. Right?
Yeah, but that's the thing. He says he's never been to Tres Bien. I know I have proof that he's been to Tres Bien. I know. I know it. I know exactly what evidence I have. This. He has matches for Tres Bien found in his goddamn office. Mr. Tigre, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches?
Matches? What you talking about?
We found them in your office at Tender Lender. They're from that restaurant.
Huh?
If you've really never been to Tres Bien before, what was the book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk?
You been snooping around with my stuff too now, wise guy? What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no broad controlling me. I ain't hitching my wagon to no loser Phoenix, right?
Order, order. Well, witness? I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you?
Ah!
Sorry, I'm terribly sorry. Forgive me.
I ain't no pussycat. I don't go back on what I said. But okay, I was at the joint that day.
What? Mom always said never hitch your wagon, no loser.
Listen good, all right. I might have been there, but I still never met that kid.
Well, well. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony. I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glen Elk that day, and he did put poison in his coffee. He must have. At Tribune. I was supposed to meet with the kid at a restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. Figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office.
I see. You didn't actually meet with him in the end, then.
Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Hold it. If I wait around here any longer, I ain't gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions. Heh, no problem. Anytime Wright presses you on something relevant, I'll see he pays a penalty.
Mr. Cadeau, that's my job.
Your job is to slam that little ham of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it.
Yes, sir.
Special Express ain't cheap, right? Just so you know since you was paying. At this point, the guy's lawyer just like, I don't give a shit about him anymore. I don't give a fuck. Oh man, doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here? It doesn't. This court is not about the rule of law. Most of this just feels like a farce. Okay. Over the drawer. But wait. Let me check something. Let me check the floor plans. Okay, when he opened the door of the joint, though, he would have been here. He would look that way, but the victim was sitting here. And we already established that the mirror wasn't there, so like he would have seen like this. Like he would have seen this table. Wait a goddamn! No, fuck you. You're something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tigre? No one escapes the Tiger's clutches. Well, I'm something of a lie detecting pro. And no one escapes the Phoenix's clutches. I think it's time we got something straight. What's this, Trite? A new line of irrelevant questioning. These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tigre. From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this.
Indeed, the witness would have had a clear view of the victim's seat.
Isn't that what I just said? Saw the back of the kid's head. Unfortunately for you, that's not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition.
What? That's true.
Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. So from the entrance of Tribune, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day, because you met with him. Wrong. Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table. The defense just proved that point to be moot. The victim witnessed by Victor Kudo was not Glen Elk, but a fake. What? In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer poses the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade.
That will do. This trial's gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glen Elk, and then impersonated his victim in a performance for Victor Kudo. In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal to the court.
Easy. Easy. He's got the face of a murderer, and the body of a murderer, and the assholery of a murderer. The killer is Vero Tigre. No one else could have done it.
What? Well, the witness?
Now that's cute. Yous think you could pin this on the Tiger? Maybe yous don't understand. The Tiger's king of the jungle. So I dare you to say it again. Come on, you got the guts.
You can't threaten me, Mr. Tigre. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright!
Sounds to me like it must be you, old man. You's got guts, I'll give you that.
Mr. Wright, do not leave me to handle this alone.
Huh. Perhaps I can end this embarrassment.
Mr. Godot!
Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time.
The old man didn't just see the victim. Oh, no, no, no.
Servant girl brought him a cappuccino, but she put something in it. There's no question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there.
Was the victim he saw the real victim or not?
That doesn't matter.
Fact remains, he saw the accused put the poison into the coffee. Huh. Yes, it was the waitress who poisoned the coffee.
Very impressive, Mr. Godot. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack. Huh.
Found your pen at last, Wright?
It was in my pocket. Look at this dumb cowardly... Look at his goofy grin. But anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenelg, and the waitress from behind.
Yes, your point, Mr. Wright?
I think the conclusion is obvious. This Glenelg was really the killer in disguise. And surely it's possible that the waitress was also part of the show.
What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well?
The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her.
Who on earth was it?
It's fast for me to go this way. Who was the waitress? It was Viola.
Who is this woman?
Her name is Viola Cadaverini. She's an employee of Tender Lender.
You was making a big mistake. Do you know who Violetta's grandfather is? You better be going home in an armored truck tonight if you know what I mean.
Stop shaking, Nick. Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, has stated the following. Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy. She had a kind of cackling laugh. Imposter Amogus. There's so many imposters here. There's just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table, who nobody but Miss Bird seems to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when that eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There's only one logical explanation that clears up all these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice. Once for real and once for show. And Mr. Fury Tigre, the only person who committed this crime, or who could have committed the crime, is you. You did it.
Witness? What have you got to say?
That's cute.
Sorry?
You was alright. I could do with a guy like you around. What do you mean?
Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now, but I'm gonna give you one more thing to think about before I go.
What, something to think about?
You just got it all wrapped up nice, huh, right? But you just missed that one really important thing.
But that can't be.
I was in the joint that day, and I meant that kid too. But I couldn't have poisoned him, you here.
What?
Do you really expect us to... Do you really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tigre?
Huh. What a troublemaker. Troublemaker?
Looks like we're gonna need another one for the road. One more steaming cup of hot testimony.
What? I don't know if I want to call it that.
Indeed. Witness, you'll explain yourself to the court. I'll give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at trade band between yourself and the victim? Yeah, I loaned out cash. About $100,000. That day, we was due to have a little chat. The kid had hit his payback date, see? So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming. Yes, I won $500,000. You got lucky, you know. Real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she done, everything would have been over. Now, I see the principal amount you loaned to Mr. Elg was $50,000.
Yeah, well, he's got the VIG to take into account. Interest builds up fast, you know. That's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice his principal. Can we never call testimony that again? You're absolutely right.
And the repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question.
Yeah, he was one lucky kid. He got that $500,000 just in time. so I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. And if I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case. His motive, He has to have one, but what is it? He definitely has one. Yeah, loan of $100,000, that's a fact. That's a fact. Like, there's no lies there. Doesn't mean he's got no way to pay up. He didn't at the time, but then he won his $500,000. What are you talking about what the waitress hadn't done? The waitress, you mean... Go with the glasses in the defendant's chair. Who else could I mean? If she hadn't gotten in the way, things would have been bada bing, bada boom, over and done with. Maybe I should push a little on this. Ask how things would have been. What would have happened? What do you mean things would have been over and done with? Oh, you was all there or what? I'm talking about the cash. I was there to get my $100,000 back. That's all. I'm a businessman. It was all coming together before that waitress got in the way.
As far as I can tell from the witness's testimony, other than recouping his loan, Mr. Tigre had no motive for killing the victim. Witness, you will amend your testimony to reflect what you just said.
Tiger's motive, huh? Do you have any other reason to kill that guy? I could think of one. And it was there at the scene of the crime. This, because he had the virus there. MC Bomber was there and it's worth millions. So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Mr. L owed you, correct? Good point, I should save. I feel like we're hitting the climax here. We're getting so close, gang. I loaned the guy the cash, so that's my right. Unfortunately for Mr. Elg, I don't believe the $100,000 is what you were really after. What are you getting at, Trite? What else would a moneylender be after other than money? Oh, the moneylender was after money. But money in a totally different league. Kind of money that a single disc like this would fetch. Huh? What is that? A computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called MC Bomber.
A computer virus? What does one of those do?
Computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer.
A computer? What does one of those do?
Okay. I definitely wasn't expecting the judge to get that stupid.
Oh. What's a computer? Help, computer!
I guess the beard isn't the only part of his honor that's from the Stone Age. God damn. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market. The judge is a boomer, confirmed. Absolutely is.
Several $1 million?
Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glenn Elk had no way to repay the money is crucial.
What?
Glenn Elk was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elk put up in order to borrow the money. You're trying to suggest the witness's motive was to get a hold of that program? Exactly. Is that like my hammer? Kind of. The witness may have poor fashion sense, but he is by no means an idiot, Trite. A man like him could get his hands on $1 million without resorting to murder. Of course he could, provided that he had time. But what if he had needed the money right then? When the pressure's on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear.
Seems like you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share it with us? Why did Mr. Tigre need the money to the tune of $1 million?
Easy. He owes the money. We just went over this. In December last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. Huh. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital, where she underwent surgery. How much of this do you know? These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. And yet, when the payment was due last month, you somehow managed to pay it in full.
$1 million? A preposterous sum. Someone should sue these HMOs.
I agree with you, Judge. In the States, HMOs absolutely should be sued. Huh, no one would pay a bill like that.
Medical Association got wind of it, the hospital would end up as dead as a morgue. But Mr. Tigre had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it. Gah! Order! You say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright? Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini. Huh? Did you say Cadaverini? Bruto Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in this city, and doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Whoa! Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You're desperate to acquire the $1 million Bruto Cadaverini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, you decided to sacrifice Glen Elg's life and to pay your debt. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tigre's sole intention was to get his hands on this CD. Glen Elg had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tigre knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tigre would prefer to say never happened, but he can't, and neither can I. The lottery win? Exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. Elg won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tigre with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least, no legitimate way. Salt Bay. That's when he salt bayed the poison. He resorted to illegitimate means. That's crazy. He murdered Glen Elg and then made his next move, to frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tigre posed as Glen Elg, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Ms. Bird. Then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo. Like I said, Trite, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about it. But Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godot? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money, too. $500,000, in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tigre's plan. Yeah, he was being blackmailed into it. Order! Silence or I will clear the courtroom. Grah-ha-ha-ha! You just put on a good show, Spiky. Huh? If you just want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You're saying I dressed up like that kid, created a witness, and framed someone? If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that. I agree. You do? Despite your appearance, you're very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Ms. Bird had no way out. What? Another one, Mr. Wright? Interesting. Why don't you fill us all in, Trite? What was this trick you say Mr. Tigre performed to frame the accused? Simply put, he got her fucking accused. This is how he got her convicted. He pretended to be me. What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone could be fooled by such a childish imitation. Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tigre, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago, in this very court, you posed as me. What? That's the truth. But the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. He stops, squints a little. Just like, wait a minute. Let me lean in here a second. Wait, what? Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? Huh? No doubt it was you, standing in here this very court a mere month ago. The Phoenix Wright who put up the most disreputable, shabby defense I'd ever seen. Grr. Ah! You're doing it. Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man. Prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him? Well, hey. Forget about it, yeah? What? I wouldn't do something like that. Not me. You made a mistake, right? You're someone else, huh? Have you no pride, sir? Cup 17. This isn't a matter of pride.
In case you didn't know, Trite, here in court, we deal with people's lives.
Mr. Godot is right.
Your Honor?
Speaking for myself, I'm absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, I preside over this court as the judge, with the vested power to hand down a verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it.
No!
If the defense has no further evidence, the court will now excuse the witness. Circumstances surrounding Mr. Tigre are dubious for sure, but not conclusive.
But we've come so far.
You say he impersonated Glen Elk. You say he impersonated you. But none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee.
Narg! Who yells like narg?
Heh.
Huh. Sucks to be you, Wright. Don't mess with the Tigre, or you're gonna get mauled, you's got that.
All I meant to do here is chase him around a bit. But I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt.
Heh.
Looks like I won't be needing a refill. If I had just one more piece of evidence. One more piece of evidence, and maybe I could get Maggie off the hook. It's so close. This witness's cross-examination is over. You're free to go, Mr. Tigre.
Hold it! Your Honor, sir. Wait! Yeah! Special Gumshoe picture for the win!
Detective?
Detective Gumshoe. Sorry it took so long, pal. I staked everything on this. My badge, the works. So here it is. My heart's counting on this too.
What is it, Detective?
Isn't it obvious, pal? It's the final decisive piece of evidence. Beast Boy Gumshoe. Gumbro.
What?
(2:48 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 1). Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results from the lab. The results? About the prints, pal, from this medicine bottle. Oh, so you know who the prints belong to now? Do you think it's some kind of hack detective? Of course I know. Phoenix saying, that's my dick. Are you sure that's your dick? That's my dick. So tell us, the Tigers, right? I knew it. You bet. Clear as crystal all over the bottle. The Fuhrer Tigre's paw prints, all right. That's great. We got him now, Nick. What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He's laid everything on the line for this, Nick. I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on that bottle now. Huh? What? Why not? When we produce at this stage in the trial, is irrefutable evidence that the Tigre put poison in Glen Elk's coffee. He's already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle, that really doesn't make any difference now. Ah, I knew it. Great. No matter how hard I try, I'm never of any use. Hey, don't be so hard on yourself. This was our last chance to help Maggie, and I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time. It's alright, I'm a real loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal. Detective Gumshoe? Maggie, you been working on something for me? Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry. I'll get out of your hair now. Detective Gumshoe, wait! He's gone. Isn't there anything we can do now, Nick? Wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it. No, we can do this. We got this. We're gonna make it happen, guys. I believe in us.
Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
I grant you a recess so you can prepare this decisive evidence you've discovered.
Yes. Yeah, let's save that. Yes.
Don't keep us all in suspense, Trite. Show us. Naturally. We can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we?
Think, Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste.
How much more of my time is you gonna waste? I ain't been to no court before. We use lawyers should know how to blow things out of proportion. No doubt, given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Wright.
Well, I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed into a corner here, but maybe if he thinks he's got me beat, he'll let his guard down a bit.
Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Present this final, decisive piece of evidence to the court.
It's gotta be a small bottle. Yeah. Gumshoe's gotta be the savior of the day. This is the defense's final piece of evidence.
Isn't that the victim's...
Your Honor. Naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We've clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belong to you, Mr. Tigre. What?
But, Mr. Wright, what conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information?
Everyone here knows what this bottle contains, except one man. One person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark. My prints are on that pansy-looking bottle? Is that what you were saying? What the hell's in it anyway? Time to lie to a witness. Phony trial, phony lawyer, and phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like a perfect excuse for phony evidence. Mr. Tigre, this is a divisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains potassium cyanide. This bottle contains potassium cyanide.
Potassium cyanide?
The poison used to murder Mr. Elg, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle. And on this bottle, Mr. Tigre, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that? You'd make a good clown, you know that. What? Yous ain't never gonna get this to stick. Yous just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool the Tigre? A bluff? I can see straight through you, Phoenix Wright. That ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it. No. This is the bottle we found traces of the poison in. Don't mess with the Tigre, you're gonna get ripped to shreds. Cyanide bottle was brown, it was made of glass. And he just outed himself. That cheap piece of trash. Don't look nothing like it. Which when everyone stops, it's like, wait a minute. Godot's pissed. Oops. You fucking goofed, you big dumb bastard. Got him. At last. What? Why has everyone gone quiet? I said that bottle. Is this a bottle you're referring to? Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle the cyanide was in. But you ain't gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy-looking suit fool you people. That lawyer's just playing games. Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Tell that guy where to go. You still haven't figured it out? Don't you realize what you just said? What I said? What did I just say? You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. It really had nothing to do with the murder. You shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. He did not get a turn with the brain cell today. He has a 1 orange brain cell. You can see from the orange cat on his shirt. Yes, it's a tiger, but it's an orange cat. He did not get the brain cell today. But just now, you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison. You just don't know who you's messing with. I'm the Tigre. I control millions of dollars on the black market. You just think I'm gonna let some jumped up soup get the better of me? Sure. The last piece of evidence was phony. That's just what you deserve. Phony trial with a phony lawyer. It's all played up by you, the biggest phony of all. Okay, I can stop. No, I can't. It's still going. Oh my god. He's getting shadow realmed by a flashback. What happened? What's going on? It looks like a blackout, sir. The fucking glowing ass mask. You proved him guilty so hard you knocked the color out of him. Oh my god. Well done, Wright. I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you. Savor it. While you watch the police restrain your prey. We did it! We solved the moida.
Mr. Wright, you caught a tiger by his toe, but if this one hollers, he won't be let go.
Fucking the assault with coffee, the fucking the old nursery rhyme.
Now then, how are things going along with Mr. Tigre, Mr. Godot?
He's being arrested on the suspicion of murder of Glen Elg, Your Honor.
Fortunately for us, we managed to rectify a very grave error. Ms. Bird was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney.
Yes, she was. In the absence of genuine evidence. But the tiger made one mistake.
Indeed. He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. Furo Tigre is a truly frightening criminal.
Huh. The truly frightening one is that defense attorney over there. Godot. I was acknowledged by Senpai! Yay! Oh, really, this is a real courtroom. You would have been arrested. Oh, yeah, like immediately.
Well, I'm now in position to deliver my verdict. This court finds the defendant, Maggie Bird,
not guilty. Yay! Phoenix's confetti. There's like a comic around somewhere which it shows that Gumshoe's the one who throws that confetti around. Godot's sitting on me. Ooh.
That is all. This court is adjourned.
We did it. More confettis. January 8th, 4:10 p.m. District Court. Let's go back out. Mr. Wright, I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, sir. And thank you for the stretch and the huzzah and the hydrate and the... Oh, my knees. Oh, shit. Congratulations, Maggie. Sip of water. I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago. But now I feel like I can forgive him. Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger. Look, Nick. In the doorway. Detective Gumshoe. Oh, guess I'll be dead off then. See you around, pal. Wait. Detective Gumshoe. Oh, yeah. Congratulations, Maggie. Thanks. Oh, they're awkward. I knew you were innocent all along. Why didn't you say that in your testimony, then? Huh? Oh, well, I was... Well, I guess I'll be heading off then. See you around. Wait up, detective. He just ran off. Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you. It's thanks to him that we got the medication bottle. That wasn't even of any use. But it's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles. Poor guy. Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him. Can you put in a good word from him, Nick? Yeah, Maya's right. I should try to help Gumshoe out. It's clear he needs it. Maggie, you know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all this. I wanted to believe that, sir. But on that first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up. He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report facts. He doubted me, that's why. He thought I might have done it. I've got to prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her. I know. I'll give her a little present to celebrate her freedom. My lawyer badge. No, it's Gumshoe's lunchbox. Full of weenies. I'm going to give you Gumshoe's weenie. Here you are. A present to celebrate your freedom. That's a present from Detective Gumshoe made with a ton of love. He said you lost weight and he was worried about you. Detective Gumshoe? I actually really like weenies, you know. The tummy grumble there. Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know. Yeah, the trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it? Is it okay if I eat this now? Yeah. Yay! So, how is it, Maggie? It's really good. Yay! We saved her! So the case of Phony vs. Phony came to an end. False allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up. And who knows? Maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start. I hope so, for her sake. Look at that. We finished it. That's episode 3 finished. We did it. And now, Edgy Poo's coming back. I did it. I lawyered. Now, I do have some time. I could start the next case. What do you guys think? Because, like, I could spend... I have, like, another, like, half an hour, 45 minutes-ish I could stream. So, if you guys want, I can start... I can at least start the next case. Oh, I think this might be a shorter case, actually. Oh, yeah, because this is a flashback one. This is a flashback case. I might be able to actually bust through part 4 quickly, and then we'll get to part 5. Yeah, let's do episode 4. Because I think, yeah, this is supposed to be a short case. Let her go. Shut up. Come closer and I'll kill her. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. Bang. Someone got shot on a bridge. Oh, shit. Phoenix is reading through the file of an old court case. It was the first case of my longtime mentor, Mia Fey. Fugitive data. Name, Terry Falls. Charge, kidnapping, murder. Sentence, death penalty. Fugitive movements. After escaping, Falls met with, and then murdered, Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. Recaptured on Eagle Mountain about 8 hours after his escape. Valerie Hawthorne? Huh. Her very first client was a death row inmate who had recently broken out of prison. That was a whole year before Mia and I ever met. Oh yeah, because he was her second case. Gosh, she pulling out the gun. 6 years earlier, Mia Fey, first trial. So we get to see where everything truly began. February 16th, 9:24 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 4. Ugh, I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm gonna die. I never should have accepted this case. Eek! Ah, good morning. Don't be so jumpy, Mia.
I didn't do nothing, I swear. I didn't kill nobody.
Terry Falls, my first client. Sentenced to death 5 years ago, and now, a prison escapee. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk and try to relax him. So how'd you escape anyway?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Ugh, I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lied. I didn't escape from nowhere.
But Mr. Falls, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago.
Look, sorry, I told a little lie.
Oh, look at his baby face. Look at this giant baby man. Oh boy.
But anyway, I didn't do it. I never killed nobody.
Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right?
Yeah.
I'm really, really sorry.
They sentenced me to die 5 years ago, but I was tricked, I tell ya. That woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty. I swear it. I didn't kill her. I could never do that.
2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. Then about 8 hours later, a policewoman was murdered before the police could recapture him. The police believe that Terry Falls did it. After you escaped, did you meet a policewoman?
Yeah, I did. She's the reason I escaped.
So that much is true. He did meet with the victim.
But I didn't kill her. She was alive when I left. She was alive. It's true.
I could trust him, right? I mean, I should.
Huh.
Oh. You're not gonna figure out the truth by just staring at the guy. Why are you here? Came to see how our little kitten was doing all alone in the big, scary lion's den. Thought maybe you'd like someone to play with. I wonder who this man could be, Phoenix. Oh no, he's hot. Where's Mr. Grossberg? That old man's probably still in bed. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. Aren't I good enough? After all, it's me, Diego Armando. Phoenix is just like, oh no. I mean, Kakashi might like him too. It's yet another mysterious mentor in a mask. That's kind of Kakashi's type. After all, their name is Kakashi Lover. I didn't say. So Diego Armando, the finest attorney at Grossberg Law Offices, is here for me. Kakashi, I do kind of like them, and I hate myself for it. Oh, don't hate yourself. He's an attractive man. Let's be honest. Hey, Sing, you have a point there. No. No, you got it all wrong. Today, you're the finest. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take this case. Imagine. Escaped death row convict for a first client. Yeah, thanks. Sure wish I could get out of it, though. Ha. Relax. I just heard some good news. Prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well. Really? However, unlike a certain somebody I won't mention, he's earned the reputation as a genius since beginning his law career. A genius? Well, it's about time to head in, kitten. Sharpen those claws ears. It's go time. Solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place. And that's what my client ran away from. Every other lawyer gave up on him. But not me. When I saw those overflowing eyes and heard that simple childlike voice, I just had the feeling that he was telling the truth. February 16th, 10 a.m. District Court, number 4. Oh, I think we got the Canadian. Oh, court's now in session for the trial of Terry Falls, eh? Defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. I understand the lawyers for both sides are newcomers, right? Yes, Your Honor. I'm Mia Fey. Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. So you're the new prosecutor everyone's talking about, eh? They're saying you joined the prosecutor's office at quite an early age. I'm going Joyzy. Also, hello, Alaskan. Oh, hey there, bud. They say you joined the prosecutor's office at quite an early age. At 20, Your Honor. Guess the little kitten hasn't earned herself much reputation yet, huh? Come on, Mia. You can't lose. Not to someone younger than you. Young people run a trial. Hey, bud, I'm not so sure how I feel about that. I got to go to work, so hopefully there's no other surprise hot people. I don't know if there will be. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently a felon in death row, eh? 2 days ago, escaped from a police wagon, isn't that correct? Precisely. But the defendant is not on trial for escaping prison. On the day that the defendant escaped, a policewoman was murdered. So we're here to determine if Mr. Falls was responsible for her death. You got it, kitten. Well then, Mr. Edgeworth. I've been doing so many Jersey accents that Jersey's stuck in my head. Fucking bud. Well then, bud. Let's hear your opening statement, eh? Oh, Lava King. Hello, Lava King. Thank you for the redemption of Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. Good morning, all that. Redemption of Soul Giant. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. That is a side game in the Bloodstained series. That is 8-bit styled and actually plays more like the original Castlevania. The way that Bloodstained Ritual of the Night plays like Igavania type Castlevanias. Curse of the Moon plays very much like the classic NES style. It's with a little bit more depth, but it's a ton of fun. Yeah, it's very much like a Gaiden game. I'd say it's like a mix of Gaiden and Castlevania. It feels like a Castlevania in its play to me. It's a lot of fun. If you can get it cheap, go for it. I got it for free because I was one of the Kickstarters for Ritual of the Night. I actually have the Kickstarter case, like the Kickstarter sleeve and everything. I actually have it signed by Miriam's voice actress. No, Gaiden is a non-canon spin-off. Yeah, it is a non-canon spin-off. It is a Gaiden game in that sense. I was thinking like Ninja Gaiden. Sir K's got to go have a blessed stream. Well, thank you, dude. Thank you for sticking around for as long as you did. I appreciate it. Was my Kickstarter rank? It was just enough to get the physical copy. I was not a huge... I'm not in the credits, unfortunately.
Cheers, I'll drink to
I wish
that,
I put enough in to get the credits. Alright. Yes, Your Honor, it was 5 years ago. The defendant, Terry Falls, was sentenced to death in this very court. His crimes were kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The girl he threw off the bridge was only 14 years old. A truly horrible crime. That's a terrible crime there. Remember it well. There was no decisive evidence, so the trial was long and protracted. And Terry's dead. I thought it was Tiger's case. We finished Tiger's case before. Like, we're 2.5 hours into the stream, so we finished Tiger's case. We're starting into case 4. I'm going to try to finish it up relatively quickly. Correct, but in the end, what was finally decided the case was a certain witness's testimony. A witness's testimony? The testimony of Detective Valerie Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal. Missed the criminal guy take the suicide pill? That wasn't the last case. That might be this one, but that wasn't the last case for sure. She arrested Mr. Falls at the scene and later testified against him. She said she witnessed Mr. Falls throw his young victim into the river. Just threw the bitch. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. So Miss Hawthorne's testimony is the one that put him away. That policewoman you just mentioned, that wouldn't be... Exactly. The victim, the same woman that was killed 2 days ago. Police Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. Aha, I see. The man who was sentenced to death based on her testimony escaped 2 days ago. With only one thing on his mind. Take revenge against the woman who convicted him. That's not Canadian, that's not Irish. That's Newfie is what that is. Thank you very much. Yeah, he's a bee's a wise boy. You know, the Newfie speak. Aha. Truth's becoming clear to me now, eh? Gotta go kinda hoser. Huh? Yes, yes. Quite obvious the defendant's guilty. Wait a minute, that's not right. At least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor. Thought you were Saskatchewanese? Oh god. Never say that again, Lava King. I am not from Saskatchewan. Fuck that. I am not from that flat-ass rectangle of a fucking province. Watch yourself, Miss Faye. I'm not sure I care for your word choice or your tone of voice. Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders. Why, you're even younger than me, you hypocrite. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your first witness. I call the detective who's in charge of the initial investigation of this case. A familiar face. Oh, different jacket, though. Witness, state your name and occupation. Gumshoe. Dick Gumshoe. I'm the homicide detective in charge of the case, sir. Even worse, you said you're from Quebec. That's true. Manitoba's not a rectangle. Manitoba has a nose. It has a nose and is looking to the right. Saskatchewan's the one that's in the middle. That's just a rectangle. Finally got promoted to the detective division half a year ago. I don't believe anyone asked you about that. Hey, man. You got any idea how much work it takes? What is it? You're really gorgeous. Oh god, Gumshoe's simping for her. Excuse me? No, seriously. My heart, it's aching for you. Detective, pull yourself together and try to be professional. Otherwise, I'll write you up on contempt so quick that something other than your heart will ache. Okay, I got it. Quebec is a whole other thing. Yeah. Now, detective, tell us about this incident, eh? Why does the Mia get creeped on the most? Because Mia's very attractive? The victim is Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, a veteran on the police force. She was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss. How much is already stated in the autopsy report, eh? Corps would like to hear more details about the incident itself. Yes, sir, I gotcha. Okay, let's take a look at this aerial map of the area here. This is a sketch of Dusky Bridge, an old suspension bridge. And the river that runs under it is Eagle River. The victim and the defendant met there, on top of the bridge. After stabbing her in the back, the killer carried the victim back to his car. He was recaptured at a police checkpoint as he was trying to make his getaway, sir. I see. Bridge located 40 feet above Eagle River. Was the victim's blood found on the bridge? The victim, Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, was wearing a thick coat, sir. Unfortunately, no traces of blood were found on the bridge. Mr. Edgeworth. Hey there, bud. I'm just trying to get that Canadian accent so bad. I warn you that I absolutely despise conjecture. If there is no blood on the bridge, then you have no proof that they even met there.
Your Honor.
Oh, the fucking shrug.
If you would listen to the testimony we prepared, I'm sure you'll be convinced. Two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day.
Why, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not sure I like you wagging your finger at me as though it was some hoser. Hey, I'm not a hoser, eh? Detective, please proceed with your testimony. I just can't pin an accent for him. Yes, sir. Here we go, Mia. Hang on. Okay, now, listen carefully, kitten. One little mistake and this guy will drink you for morning tea. Trust me and get ready. Alright, summary of the incident. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. This criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint set up at the base of the mountain. You guys look, it's Spoiker. Well, you certainly have established... hey there, buddy. You certainly have established the importance of the bridge. Now he sounds Australian. Fuck.
Naturally.
Now, will the defense please hurry up and proceed with the cross-examination? Yeah, he sounds Irish. Fuck, I can't pin one down. He's every accent. This cross-examination should come right up. Hey, settle down there, kitten. If you keep trembling like that, you're gonna make me spill my coffee. You know how much I love my coffee. I'm not trembling, it's just cold in here. Courtroom could be a cold battlefield, alright. Especially for a beginner. I don't need you to worry about me. I mean, the defendant, the witness, everyone's a beginner in here. Huh, you got me there. Maybe you should keep your claws out. Show them what you've got, kitten. It's okay, Mia. Stay calm. Send your sentences with AMAT if you want to do Canadian. I just need to remember that. I just remember those court procedure videos you stayed up all last night watching. Alright. Okay, wait a minute. Let me press that. This unknown person. You have no idea who it might be, right? Sorry, but I'm afraid I do. What? The one who called Sergeant Hawthorne was the defendant, Terry Falls. What? The defendant? The defendant called her. Sergeant Hawthorne was a very thorough person, sir. She left a note about her phone call with Mr. Falls. A note? Yeah, top secret memo that she left in her desk. Alright, we have a victim's note. Say A. A. According to this note, it seems the one who called her to the bridge was indeed the defendant, Terry Falls, eh? Whose idea was it to keep that note from me? Huh. Looks like the judge is even more sure of his verdict now. Listen up. Never ask a question if you don't already know the answer. It's that detective's fault. He's the one that said unknown person. Hey now, don't make that face at me. I just said it that way because the prosecutor told me to. Was that a trap? With that cute face, I didn't expect him to be so sneaky. See, even Edgeworth says... Even Mia thinks Edgeworth is handsome. Went the music type. Yeah, I did that. Brutally murdered. Wait a minute. Tell me more about this. Mr. Falls had a car then? Well, that bridge is way up in the mountains, ma'am. The defendant and the victim both went up there by car. I mean, how else, right? What? You mean the defendant drove his own car? No, of course not. It was stolen. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light. Car thieves. I'm not sure how I feel about car thieves, eh? Is this guy sure about how he feels about anything? This is a photo of the stolen car's trunk. Yep, she's right there. Naturally, that's the body of Valerie Hawthorne in there. Whoa, that doesn't look too comfortable, eh? That's too snug.
The victim, she was stabbed in the back, correct?
Yeah. Huh. For some reason, men always seem to get stabbed in the back.
We're talking about a woman here.
Can't tell from this photo, but the knife was stuck in her back nice and firm. The condition of the body was, when it was discovered, is very important information, eh? Wait, Hawthorne isn't Dahlia Hawthorne? Possibly. That's entirely possible. We might be getting some correlations here. Detective, was there anything strange and noteworthy in the trunk of the car? Was there any Timmies? I could use a Timbit. Oh, now I'm hungry. This is part of the trunk, but I don't see anything strange, do you? Anyway. Wait a minute. Let me check something. Victim's note. 4:30 p.m. that bridge. Wear white scarf for identification. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time. The whole truth must come out. Wear white scarf. Wait. There is no scarf there.
Objection. Witness.
What is it? Do you have something to say, Miss Faye? All traces back to Iris? Possibly.
I'm sorry, I totally forgot what I was going to say. This is the first time I've ever had to actually address someone like that.
Grr, you should have practiced more before coming to court, eh? You sound like a goof. Honestly, Miss Faye, I'm not sure I like this. You're acting like a degen from up north, eh? Nah, I need to watch some Letterkenny. That's what I need to do to get that voice in. Say there, little kitten. Want a piece of my coffee candy? Candy? Well, you're still too young to be drinking real coffee. Come on, Mia, shake it off. You're a lawyer. Detective. Yes, ma'am. This photo. You said that there was nothing peculiar about it. Is that correct? Yeah, that's what I said. Well, then I suggest you take another look at the note written by the victim. Well, so fuck you, Shorzy. Yeah, I didn't remember that. The note? It very clearly says, wear a white scarf for identification. I want candy. I'll take candy. I would not want coffee candy. No, thank you. The caller must have forgotten what the victim looked like. Thus, this special request. I have one very simple question for you, Detective. Where's the white scarf? I can't seem to find it in this photo. Well, to be honest, we didn't find it in the trunk, ma'am. And you stopped there? You should have looked for it. Argh. Caller told us where to identify herself, so I suspect she's just that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do you have to say about all this, eh? Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna give him Shorzy. He gets to be Shorzy now.
I see the defense is a little lacking. The scarf you're searching for so desperately for. Is it this one, perchance?
Where do you find that, sir?
On Dusky Bridge. I was there first and decided to conduct my own investigation.
What? Why didn't you tell me?
I made a decision to keep all pieces of evidence in my personal satchel. Don't call it a man purse. It's a satchel. It's the safest place I know. My satchel.
That hotshot sure has a flair for the dramatic.
It's not exactly white, as the caller requested. But as you can see, it's close enough for what it was intended for.
It looks like it spent some time in the mud there.
Not surprising. It was drizzling on the mountain that day.
Prosecutor Edgeworth. He was intentionally hiding that scarf the whole time. The court will accept the scarf into evidence.
Now, if the attorney for the defense has finished embarrassing herself, I'd like to move on with the testimony. That is all right with you, isn't it, Miss Faye?
Why would I like to wrap this scarf around his smarmy little neck?
Very good. Now, if we're done with this mud-covered scarf business, the prosecution moves to establish conclusively and with hard evidence that Miss Hawthorne and Mr. Falls did indeed meet on that bridge that day. Further, we'll show exactly what occurred there.
Well, that sounds quite promising. Can't wait to hear all about it.
Everything's moving at his whim. Don't forget, kitten, there's a reason why everyone considers this kid a genius.
A genius, huh? He's a smug prick is what he is. Events on Dusky Bridge. Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows that the Vic was wearing the scarf, sir. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what was going on. Anyway, the victim shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. That must have been when the scarf fell off.
Looking at this photo, you really got the sense that this bridge is very high up.
It is about a 40-foot drop from the bridge to the Eagle River down below.
Mr. Edgeworth, who took this photo anyway?
Let's just say it was a well-intentioned third party.
Aha, potential witness. So why is this person in the courtroom?
Well, they said they absolutely did not want to testify.
The person in question is very delicate, Your Honor. Besides, as long as we have this photo, we see no reason to compel them to testify.
I'm not sure how I feel about that, though.
This is the photo. So as you can see, Terry Falls had both the motive and the opportunity. I think it's quite clear at this point what happened on that bridge.
Aha, it's becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yeah, it's quite obvious. He's clearly guilty. Not again. That's not fair. I haven't even done my cross-examination yet. What do you mean,
This witness took photo. Okay, that's fair. There's that. It's drizzling the day, hard to see what's going on. Criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Wait a minute.
Yeah, so at the time of the crime, there was a light drizzle coming down, correct?
Yeah, and fog, too. Just a generally soggy atmosphere.
Well, I have evidence that doesn't go with the soggy atmosphere. This is a photo of the victim's body that was found in the car trunk. Considering the conditions of the scene crime, something isn't right. Well, by all means, and please enlighten us as to what isn't right. What is about this photo of the trunk that doesn't fit with the condition of the conditions that day?
I would say it's... Honestly, yeah, if you look at her coat, it's not soggy in the slightest. It looks dry as hell.
Naturally, the answer is right here.
The victim's coat?
As far as I can see, there's nothing strange about it. That's exactly what's strange. Recall the testimony. What were the conditions on the bridge that day? It was drizzling and foggy. Dusky Bridge was all wet. If the victim really had fallen down on her stomach on top of the bridge, then the front of her coat should have been covered in mud. That's exactly right. The other day I fell on a muddy street. My gorgeous playoff beard was befouled.
Oh god, that's a playoff beard. Speaking of which, go Oilers. I don't know how that series is going. I haven't been watching it, but go Oilers.
I do admit that the crime scene was quite wet that day. However, that doesn't mean that the top of the bridge itself was muddy. If Your Honor had fallen in the shower instead of on a muddy street, the glorious hockey beard, pride of the legal league, would be wet but not muddy.
Fortunately, I've yet to test that. Still, your point's well taken.
Can you prove that the surface of the bridge was muddy that day?
The surface of the bridge, huh?
Huh. Real man wouldn't stand for a taunt like this.
You're a real woman.
Don't be sexist, Armando. Diego Armando.
Of course I can. Here's the evidence that proves the surface of the bridge was muddy.
Yeah, this was found on the bridge. It's muddy.
The evidence is this scarf.
Ah.
It should be obvious. If the scarf fell onto the bridge and got this muddy, it means that the bridge was obviously covered in mud.
Ugh, no. I can't be outwitted by this novice bimbo.
Hey, don't call her a bimbo. She's plenty smart.
Hey, same to you, buddy.
Miss Faye's
assertion makes perfect sense to me.
I do admit that there appears to be a contradiction between the condition of the victim's coat and her scarf. However, the real question is, why is there a contradiction?
Huh?
For every contradiction, there exists an explanation. An explanation. Let's look at what the explanation in this case may be, shall we?
I'm fucking up my voices. Fuck.
Alright, it's not like he's really giving me a choice here.
Huh. You're doing pretty well for a little kitten.
Mr. Armando. No matter what he says, contradiction always comes down to a lie. It's either the victim was discovered in the trunk, the witness's photo showing the defendant and the victim, or the witness's testimony that stated she saw the moment of the murder. Just relax and think it over. It's pretty simple, isn't it? False evidence. It's one of those three. What you just said just now, I'm not sure I like that. That wasn't me, Your Honor. It was the coffee aficionado over here that said it. This court's not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know. Blame it on him, Your Honor. He's the one trying to slip false evidence into court. But we won't let him. We'll expose his evidence as the flimsy scam it really is. Yes. False evidence in this case is the... It's gotta be the testimony. The photos, because the photo's there. The body was in the trunk. And the photo pictures can't lie. But people can. It's a no-brainer. Obviously, it's the witness that's suspicious. During his earlier testimony, the detective pointed out a crucial fact. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Now, is that testimony exactly what the witness claims to have seen? Yeah, that's what the witness told us. That testimony is filled with holes. After all, the victim's coat isn't dirty at all.
That's true.
No, fuck. Wrong judge. It's not just true, it's the truth. There's a truly decisive witness in this case. I'm certain that boy wonder over there would have called them in the first place. Your Honor, defense requests to cross-examine the eyewitness. The testimony presented so far is not only vague, but contradictory as well. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? It appears that we're going to hear from your mystery witness after all. You should brace yourself for the brutal truth. Huh? Your Honor, the prosecution has no intention of hiding the witness from the court. We're prepared to present our witness at any time. Very well. Please bring forth your witness at this time. What Mr. Edgeworth said kind of worries me. What does he mean by the brutal truth? Now let's proceed with the testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, please go right ahead. Thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution summons the woman who saw the events that day with her very own eyes. This is it, Mia. The battle begins here. Witness, what is your name and occupation? Oh, motherfucker. You bitch! Everyone's so sound that I can hear their hearts going pitter-patter. Oh! Well, look at you. How can I put it? You look as scrumptious as a double-double and a dozen donut holes. They're called Timbits. I feel like I want to hurry up and hand down a verdict just to have a bite. Hey, not so fast. As I said before, this witness is very sensitive and delicate. I'll ask the court to please exercise care when addressing her. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. You are a true gentleman. Look at your ascot. Miss Faye, you can learn a lot from this man. If he's such a gentleman, if she's such a gentleman, he sure doesn't act like one of me. Fuck him all over the place. Sir? Yes, my dear? This is my first time, so I'm sure I'll make a lot of mistakes. Anyway, I just want to say I'm sorry for all the trouble I might cause. No, you're fucking not, bitch. Oh, not at all. It's no trouble at all, eh? Now then, may we please have your name and occupation? My name is, Melissa Foster. I don't believe you. I'm a college student, a freshman in the literature department. You were on the scene when the unfortunate offender occurred, correct? And you were the one who took this photo? Is that accurate? Wow! How can you be so mean? Let's see here. What are you doing then, shoving that in her face like that? Huh? But it's just a photograph. It's not like it's something dangerous. Next time we'll be forced to penalize you. Uh-oh. I don't like the turn this is taking. Is she staring at me? And you would be... Huh? I'm the defense attorney. My name's Mia Fey. I see. So you are... Now then, young lady. Oh, now then, young lady. Could you please give us your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I'll do my best.
Yeah, I don't trust this bitch. Never trust this bitch.
I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Then I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly, they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. And right after that, I called the police. By the way, where were you standing when the incident occurred?
I believe the map would be of help here.
I was standing right over here. I was standing in a beautiful field surrounded by tall cliffs.
Why did you just take a picture of two people fighting? Yeah, like, why do that?
So you took the photo from that location, eh? I brought the camera I was using at the time, just like Mr. Edgeworth asked me to. Oh, what a cute camera! Just like its owner.
Small but powerful model.
Alright then, Miss Faye, time for your cross-examination. I warn you, make the witness cry again and you'll be feel the wrath of my gavel.
Okay. Taking picture of flowers, that. Start fighting. Wait, you caught the crucial moment. But the photo... Oh, no, that's not the photo. The photo that you took, they weren't fighting in the photo. Yeah.
Witness, when you said you took a photo of the crucial moment, is this what you meant? All I can see in this photo is two people facing each other. You testified that you saw the two of them starting to fight. Normally, that's the kind of thing we refer to as a crucial moment. Why haven't you presented a photo like that? Well, you see...
The photo we presented was the only one there was.
But if you really wanted to capture the crucial moment, then what happened next? You must have taken a photo of it. Doe. My apologies, young lady. Miss Faye's assertion is not without a certain amount of merit.
He can certainly downplay his situation, can't he?
I'm sorry. I'm a very bad girl.
Yeah, you literally murdered someone like in a year. Like, I can tell the future. You're gonna kill someone.
I used it all up. The film, I mean. You ran out of film. Or this photo was the last one.
What? Shrug life. Unfortunately, that is the truth. I personally examined all the photographs she took that day. All the other photos are of the witness herself, playing along among the wildflowers.
Witness herself? Then who took the photos? Well, you see, my camera has a timer feature built into it.
So you took photos of yourself?
I remember taking some photos of myself once, too.
Please, no details. Yeah, I don't want to know what pictures you're taking, fucking Mr. Hockey Hair.
Seems that Miss Faye's assertion was not so decisive after all. Wait, just a minute. Well, if she had no film left, she couldn't very well take more pictures, eh?
Miss Foster, perhaps then you could tell us about a different sort of photo. Photos of the incident that you took with your very own eyes.
Mr. Edgeworth, you're quite the poet. Very well then, let's get back to the cross-examination, eh? Let's hear your thoughts on the fight that you witnessed. Yes, Mr. Judge.
Boy, this guy is really a sucker for sweet talk. Huh. Looks like the other kitten in the room is the one that's getting all the attention. Yeah, it's sickening. Yeah, fuck this bitch. I used my camera to take pictures of wildflowers. On the suspension bridge, they start fighting. Tried to run away, but she only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. But, wait a minute, he turned around and tried to run away. She was standing here. He was standing here. She tried to turn around and run away to a hole in the bridge. No, she wasn't. She absolutely could not have done that.
Witness, your testimony is a joke. Huh? What? But I just...
Miss Faye,
I thought I warned you not to make the witness cry. One short testimony and two bad contradictions. There's no possible excuse. You say there were two contradictions? It's simple. Just take a look at the diagram of the area. According to her testimony, the two of them were in the middle of the bridge. But if they were, and the victim had turned around and tried to run, well then, she would have had a dead end. She said 10 yards, but she couldn't have ran even 5. Because Dusky Bridge just collapsed on that side. Ah! Little wah! What does all this mean? It's very simple, Your Honor. This charming little witness told a charming little lie. That's all there is to it. This beautiful young lady's been lying to the court?
Oh, hello, Blockhead. Saying, do I remember the tallest man you've ever seen? Yeah, it was actually someone I knew back in, like, junior high school. He was, like, a solid, like, 7 to 8 inches taller than me. He was almost a 7-footer. It was freaking ridiculous. Just a moment, Your Honor.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Your Honor, allow me to personally apologize for the confusion.
What do you mean?
There's one major mistake in this diagram.
What did you say? What are you referring to?
This diagram is made after the incident occurred. It's a very old bridge. I couldn't find any official blueprints of it.
So you're saying?
I'm saying that even though this bridge is currently in disrepair, there's no evidence that can prove that the bridge was broken during the incident.
That's ridiculous.
You can actually tell the condition of the bridge from this photo. I apologize to the court for not being more clear when I presented the evidence.
Yeah, how you doing, Blockhead? I hope you're doing well and, keeping happy, healthy, all that.
Heh, that guy is good.
Huh? What do you mean?
He planned it from the beginning. He's a genius, alright. That diagram of the bridge was his insurance policy.
What? That coward. Well, Miss Fay, seems you've once again made a reckless accusation. Oh. I'm so sorry. I should have been more careful myself. No, it wasn't your fault at all.
Now then, shall we go on with the trial? I'd like to establish, once and for all, what it was that the witness actually saw.
Indeed. All right, young lady. May I ask you to please proceed with your testimony? But it's so hard to go on. We're all on your side, Miss Foster.
There's no need to worry. Just tell us what you saw.
Yes, sir.
All right.
After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to the car. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. You couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. Witnessing such violence must have been difficult. Yes, sir. I am still shaken up.
If he accepts his testimony as it is, we're finished.
Don't say that.
Don't say that. Oh well, maybe I'll stop off at my favorite cafe on the way home. They make a really great mocha latte.
This trial isn't over yet.
Ha! That's what I like to hear.
All right, Miss Fay. Cross-examination, if you please.
Contradiction staring you right in the face. Go on the attack. Yeah, I think I can figure it out. Stabbed her, picked her up in his arms, carried her over to the car. That's the only way you can make sure this body stayed hidden. Wait, we've talked about this. Because he could have just dropped her in the river. And that river has a really strong current. Killer not wanting his victim to be found. I can understand that. However, the idea of moving the body for that purpose is clearly odd. There's a much easier way to make sure the body wasn't found.
Well, what is it?
Take another look at the map of the area and you'll see how. There's a river right below the bridge. Earlier, Mr. Edgeworth pointed out something interesting about the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered.
Huh. In a kidnapping case 5 years ago, the victim's body was carried away and never found. Huh.
If 10 murders were occurred at the same spot above the Eagle River, you can bet your boots that every other killer would toss the body in the water.
Order, hey! I'm not sure if I care for the way you put that, Miss Fay. I must admit it seems odd not to have thrown the body into the river. Ooh. Well, Mr. Edgeworth?
How sad. Perhaps Miss Fay would do well to try taking a dip in the river herself. After all, you claim to be such an expert in the ways of nature. What are you talking about? My point is that no matter how odd you may find the killer's method of body disposal, the fact is that this is what the killer did. None of your arguments have anything to do with what the witness saw.
Quite true. Miss Faye, it seems like your assertions without merit after all.
Schmack.
What the witness claims to have seen is totally ridiculous.
Surely you can't deny that the body was found in the trunk of the car.
That's certainly consistent with what the witness has told us.
Please, witness, go on with your testimony.
I'll try.
All you have to do is tell us only what you saw. Otherwise the main lady might yell at you again.
Who's he talking about? Alright, I'll do my best.
He carried her over the car. Killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there.
But...
yeah, but the thing is, there's still the scarf issue. At no point was the scarf mentioned.
Well, Miss Foster, looks like you've done it this time. Done what?
Made a crucial mistake.
A crucial mistake? Like what, Miss Faye?
The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. You're saying you saw that, right? With your very own eyes?
Yes, and?
It's simple, Miss Foster. Take a look at the diagram. The place you claim to have taken the photo from that day is here. See what I mean? Even if you tried to see the car, this outcropping of rock is directly in the way.
Ah.
That's right, Miss Foster. From where you were standing, you could not have possibly seen the killer's car.
Ah.
I admit that the diagram shows a large outcropping of rock. However, it isn't so tall that it would stop her from seeing the car.
That's right. It's not high at all. I was able to see his car just fine.
I'm so sorry. That just doesn't wash.
Huh.
I believe it was the witness who presented this as evidence to the court, yes? This is the location that the photo was taken from. Your own photo tells the whole story. You can clearly see the left side of the bridge. The outcropping that's being referred to is really more like a cliff.
Ah!
Your view should have been completely cut off by this cliff, but still you claim to have been able to see the killer's car.
No! Order in the court! What is the meaning of all this ballyhoo?
Your Honor, don't jump to any hasty conclusions. The fact that the escapee fled in a stolen car was reported on the news. After witnessing a murder, I'm sure you can appreciate that the witness was very upset. She must have heard about the stolen car and convinced herself that she saw it. But she was repeatedly warned before starting her testimony. She was told to testify only about what she saw with her own eyes.
Oh. Mr. Judge?
What is it?
I think I must have remembered things wrong.
Hey, wait a minute. You can't just say that. Miss Faye, no one on the face of the planet is perfect.
Yes, indeed. Quite true. You know what they say. To err is human, to forgive divine. I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt to our witness here.
What? That's not fair. Huh. Save the tears for later, kitten.
Mr. Armando.
Don't look back until the trial is over. Now's the time to go forward.
But that wasn't fair.
Okay, kitten, you need to relax. Then you need to remember the other kitten's testimony.
Killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there.
So tell me, how did she know that? How did she know that he broke into the trunk?
Aha.
Well, Miss Foster, until you can explain how you knew that, you have a lot of very suspicious people on this side of the courtroom.
Well, witness? Well, I'm certain that he broke into the trunk. Because there were marks left on the trunk lid. I'm certain there were scratch marks from when he broke into it.
What? Let me see that photo.
It's true. These certainly look like scratch marks around the keyhole.
Yeah, how did she see that, though?
So obviously this trunk has been broken open. Well, Miss Faye, are you satisfied?
Show's on our side. I can't make mistakes here. Is there a contradiction? Nope, it doesn't work. Melissa Foster, it looks like you finally betrayed yourself. What? You said you were in a field taking photos of wildflowers. But even so, you knew about the scratches. The question is when. When did you get a chance to see those scratches? Finally, I finally got her. Ha, I'm getting pretty tired of waiting over here. And perhaps it'd be faster if Miss Fay explained herself. Your Honor, there's only one possible explanation. The reason the witness has seen the scratches was... she put the corpse in herself. She can't have been just passing by. She's not the owner of the car. She has to be. There's only one way the witness had the chance to see those scratches. Yes, what is it? Naturally, when she opened the trunk and stuffed the corpse in herself. Oh! The person who really hid that body in the trunk of the car was Melissa Foster. It was you that did it, wasn't it? That's ridiculous. I could never. It's the man in the prison car. He's the one that... I don't think so, Miss Foster. Mr. Falls had been the one that put the corpse in the trunk. He would have simply used the car key. There was no need to break it open. But he stole the car. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light, which means that the key would have still been in the ignition. Oh, I see. Thank you for telling us about the scratches, Miss Foster. Without that, we never would have uncovered the truth. It couldn't have been Mr. Falls that put the body in the trunk. Oh. Preposterous. To even suggest that the witness put the body in there. If that were true, how do you explain the photo that she took? The corpse could have only been put in the trunk when the incident occurred. I already know at the time she was taking photographs. Now's your chance, Mia. Yeah, I know exactly this. Finish this thing. On the contrary, I'm not so certain about that anymore, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, there's no need to think too deeply about it. What I'm saying is that the shutter for this may have been pushed by Miss Foster herself. Because there's a timer function. Let's take another look at this camera and see what features it has, shall we? It has a timer built into it, even a mini tripod. Why, it's almost as if she brought this camera just to take this picture. What are you trying to say then, Miss Fay? That when the crime occurred, Miss Foster wasn't in the field as she claimed? Well, if she really did use the camera's auto timer, then the answer is yes, she was somewhere else. Exactly, she was not in the field. Would the defense please explain further? Listen, this is a crucial point. Where was Miss Foster when the incident occurred? Answering that question will also make clear Miss Foster's true identity. Well then, please answer this question. Where's Melissa Foster when the incident on the bridge occurred? That's easy. She was faking. Naturally, the witness is right here. But that's where the victim, Miss Hawthorne, was standing. Order, order, order! Miss Fay, what on earth? Your Honor, if I may. After parting with the victim on the bridge, the defendant fled by car. But this would mean that there was no time to put the victim in the trunk. In other words, if someone put the body in the trunk, it could only have been before the defendant met the victim. How asinine. Of course Mr. Falls met with the victim. The only person with the opportunity to put the victim in the trunk is the same man that killed her, Terry Falls. Still don't understand, do you, Mr. Edgeworth? By the time the witness's photo was taken, the victim was already dead. The person in the photo was not Valerie Hawthorne. What? I've never heard anything more ridiculous in my entire life. Who exactly is the victim in this photo? It's obvious, isn't it? It's your own witness. What? It's the only possible explanation. The woman that Mr. Falls met on the bridge that day was not Valerie Hawthorne. It was you, Melissa Foster. Me? Let's remember that it was raining and foggy on the mountain that day. Mr. Falls himself believed that the woman in front of him was Valerie Hawthorne. But the defendant knew Valerie Hawthorne very well. After all, she was the woman whose testimony helped him get convicted. But since then, my client has spent 5 hard years in a federal penitentiary. You can't remember exactly what she looked like anymore. You're just making this up as you go along. Where's your proof? I've got it all right here. This piece of evidence will blow this case wide open. At the time of the incident, Mr. Falls had forgotten what Valerie Hawthorne looked like. It would be the scarf, because he asked for the... Yeah, he asked to see the scarf. Mr. Falls had forgotten the victim's face. That's why he needed some piece of identification. Namely, this muddy scarf. Ah. It was Mr. Falls who requested that she wear the scarf to identify herself. That's already been proven by the note the victim left. In other words, as long as you were wearing a scarf like he asked, anyone could pretend to be Valerie Hawthorne. Well, what do you have to say to that, Melissa Foster? No! We defeated her. Where's Miss Foster? She's collecting herself in the lobby. It's obvious that Melissa Foster did it. She hid the body in the trunk and disguised herself as the victim. She set up the camera to snap a fake photo of them together. The only question is, why did she do it? Well, isn't that obvious? She's the real culprit. Huh. Well, we'll have to wait for Miss Foster to compose herself before we start again. Till then, this court is in recess. Defense and the prosecution are both were in their respective lobbies. Yes, Your Honor. Understood. Very well, this court's in recess. I think this is where I'm gonna stop up for the stream. It's not going as short as I thought it would. But that being said, we'll be able to wrap up this case and start part 5 next stream. Next stream is going to be next Saturday, is the plan. Where I'll be able to finish episode 4, start up episode 5, and then episode 5 is the final episode and probably the longest, so that one will take me a couple streams to do. But yeah, I think this covers a little bit of everything. Thank you guys, thank you everyone so much for stopping by. Thank you for the resubs. Thank you for coming in and chatting and hanging out and seeing the cases and having fun with me. You'll be seeing me again on Tuesday on Wazzy's stream. I'm pretty sure it's my week to co-host, so I'll be seeing you there. I believe there's a high likelihood I'll be with Wazzy tomorrow on her stream as well. But in the meantime, let's see if we can find someone to raid. So I think I saw someone that I know coming online. I do, and they're playing Fortnite. We got Rebecca Doodles. So let's go raid Rebecca Doodles. Do a quick raid. But yeah, thank you all so much for stopping by. Let's go say hi to Rebecca. I'll be seeing you guys again soon. If not tomorrow or Tuesday, you'll be seeing me again Saturday on this channel, finishing up episode 4 of Phoenix Wright. For the meantime, have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I'll see you again soon.